It has to chew.
It does.
Is it bigger?
Together we are invincible. Save the world from wars. Save the world from breaking apart. Save us from losing our hearts. Save us from losing our souls. Save us from losing our save the world. Save the world from wars. Save the world from breaking apart. Save us from losing our hearts. Save us from losing our souls. Together we can save the world. Together we are invincible. Save the world from wars. Save the world from breaking apart. Save us from losing our hearts. Save us from losing our souls.
Another kid, making my wish come true like a genie. Holding up a glass in the club to steam it. Not a race or show a black Lamborghini. Some people might think you're sleazy. It's so fine, so you're making look easy. So much you can make a man green. So don't stop, go ahead and get freaky. You got me wanting to be with you. So sexy, I don't know what to do. Your curves are making my dreams come true. The way I should be taboo. Just be naughty, move like a bro, girl, it ain't no hobby. Looking so good, gotta tell somebody. Blows my mind when I see a hot body. Hot body. Makes me wanna fall in love. Makes me wanna fall in love. Don't stop now, just get naughty. Move like a bro, girl, it ain't no hobby. Looking so good, gotta tell somebody. Blows my mind when I see a hot body. Hot body. Makes me wanna fall in love. Hot body. looking so good, gotta tell somebody. Blows my mind when I see a hot body. A hot body makes me wanna fall in love. Makes me wanna fall in love. Don't stop now, just get money. Move like a pro, girl, it ain't no hobby. Looking so good, gotta tell somebody. Blows my mind when I see a hot body. A hot body, a hot body, a hot body, a hot body, a hot body. 1, 2, 3 into the 4. Checking out your moves as I walk through the door. Never seen a girl like you any before. Body like a goddess, and you move on before. You're a soldier and you're ready for war. Got a lot of junk in the trunk, you're hardcore. I don't wanna stop, I want you to more. Cause you got a little something I just can't ignore. So go ahead, girl, take your time. Shake it like you need a girl, let it all shine. Body like an hourglass, but it's so fine. And if you wanna kick it, girl, give me a sign. You are so in your mind. You're a masterpiece, the best by design. And if you was a mountain, I'd be ready for the climb. And I'll be on the spot anywhere, anytime.
I'm terrified and loving it. No regrets to keep me up at night. Feel so alive and loving it. I'm just back, so I finally learned to fall. Left till we cry for the fun of it. Now I finally see the light. Don't wanna waste a single minute. Now I finally have you, got you by my side. So let's hit the ground. So days are here to show. You can do things for me and more. I got your back, just take things slow. I'll bring everyone to show that I want your heart and more in my own life. I'll tell everyone there's no stopping us. Can I have you for the rest of my life?
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel. It is Monday evening. I hope you're having a really good day. If you're Canadian, I hope you're having a good end to your long weekend. If you're getting ready to go back to work tomorrow, maybe you're working the night shift tonight. If you are, I hope I'm able to make it a little bit more pleasant. Hello Bishop, I see you in chat. Hello there. Hello, Cannibalistic Wizard. How are you today? I hope you're all having a fantastic Monday. I've got my coffee to carry us through the first hour or so, and then I've got this Lola Rosé blood orange and strawberry wine to end off the night with. So it'll be a fun night. It will be a fun night. We've got some political shit to go through, and we've got Mr. Beast stuff to go through. And I'm thinking, I don't know which to start with. I don't know which poison to pick to start with, because I'm probably going to want to be drinking for all of this, but something tells me that I'm going to want to hold off for the Mr. Beast. Wait and see what happens here. We've also got some American politics to go through and an Air Farce episode. Uh-oh. Is the camera all fucked up again? Okay. So, yeah, I've got like 6 or 7 YouTube tabs open, and I'm sure we'll have more to go through as things go on. Blank screen? Oh, that's what Pinkala was fixing. The camera needed to be plugged in and fixed. Okay. That's what Pinkala was doing. Okay. All right, here we go. So, like I said, it's going to be an interesting day. We've got everything from the RCMP accusing the Indian government of criminal activity in Canada. We've got Trudeau responding to that. We've got the Minister for Climate Change defending the carbon tax to CTV who's actually trying to do its job and report stuff. We've got just tons of and then we have somebody who defended Mr. Beast, basically retracting everything.
Dog Pack's retractor.
Yeah. Dog Pack's detractor in the beginning is retracting his detraction. Say that 10 times fast. Retracting his detraction is what he's doing. So, yeah. So this is what we're going to end the night with. This Lola strawberry blood orange wine. But first I've got some coffee. First I've got coffee to drink. So, while we're good and ready to go, I think we're going to start with the Mr. Beast stuff. And I think we're going to put it on 1 1/4 because it is a long video. There we go. Okay. I want to make sure that we can understand it still, but I don't want to be here forever and a day. So let's jump in here. Let's see what it's I think his name is It's Blanco. It's Blanco. Is retracting the detraction against Dog Pack. And this video, as you can see, is titled "I Was Wrong, Mr. Beast is a Monster," and I wanna hear what he's discovered for himself.
So, a couple weeks ago, I made a video talking about all of the allegations against Mr. Beast, and it completely sucked. I was clearly very biased in favor of Mr. Beast. I downplayed a lot of Dog Pack's arguments, and I definitely did not do enough research. And you guys were pretty quick to point that out. Now, upon rewatching the video and looking into everything about Mr. Beast, I have concluded that I was wrong.
Well, that's a good place to start, and it's always hard to admit when you're wrong, especially when you take the time to make a control, like a LOL pause game. There's it's a good place to start from when you're admitting that you're wrong. And as a video creator, when you make and put in a lot of work into a video and you realize that you were wrong about it, it's hard to admit and eat crow about
very, very wrong. And initially, I was very skeptical about the allegations, partially because, honestly, I was a pretty big fan of Mr. Beast. Not as much of his content lately, but more of his character, to be honest. He basically possessed a lot of the traits that I wanted. I really aspired to have his type of work ethic, intelligence, and humbleness.
But is he humble, though? Is he actually humble? Or is that just a persona that he puts on as he what's it called? Is it a caricature that he puts on as he creates this brand?
Because I think at one point all of us wanted to be like Mr. Beast. I mean, let's not get it twisted here. It seems like he has the dream life. The most subscribed to YouTuber in the world, doing tons of crazy cool shit and also helping save the world while doing it. Like, that's the dream for almost anybody. And based on most of the YouTubers we see that are popping now, clearly they're all trying to be like Mr. Beast in some type of way too. And I guess I let that admiration get the best of me and let me see past my judgment.
At least he's willing to admit that, right? Like, it's because it's hard when you have somebody that you really, really look up to and they get involved in stuff like these allegations. It can be hard to look past your bias and your admiration, as he's saying. It can be very difficult, and good for him for making that admittance and, like, starting off on a page of you know, I was wrong and I'm sorry.
It's pretty embarrassing on my part because I've always used objective facts and logic to really get the points right, and I completely went against my own morals here. So my sincerest apologies to Dogpack, who's making these videos in the first place, and also to you guys because you're the ones that support my videos. But I hope to make it up to you guys by going over everything going on with Mr. Beast and doing it correctly this time. This video took me so long to make because I really wanted to get all the facts right, and every time I was just about done, something new always came around.
Oh, that has to be frustrating. You're like, okay, good, I'm almost done this video. Boom, something else happens. Then you're like, okay, I've included this. Okay, good, I'm almost done. Shit, now this drops. It just keeps going on.
That I just could not
on.
leave out. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about all of the allegations, including ones that most people have not talked about yet, which I'm kind of surprised to see, such as faking charities and using child labor. Yes, I'm serious. This took me so long to make, but I really hope I can redeem myself with this one, so enjoy. And without further ado, let's cut the bullshit and get right into it. Now, this whole initial event started when Chris Tyson, aka Ava Tyson, was exposed for talking to minors and stuff. Now, this is the only one I'm not going to get too crazy in detail with because I've already talked about it, and so has like everyone else. Essentially,
yeah, it's been beaten to death, talked to death. Like, we should never not talk about people interacting with minors. Like, that's never a thing. We should be like, oh, more of that bullshit, don't talk about. But we don't have to like beat the dead horse.
Actually, tons of previous tweets of Chris making lolly and really making weird tweets have resurfaced on the internet. And in case you don't know, lolly is basically anime cartoon CP. And then Ava was exposed for frequently talking to a 13-year-old kid and then meeting up with them when they turned 16. Thousands of messages from a Discord leaked where Chris was making some pretty sexual remarks with these kids and just saying a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, and knowing that they were kids. He just didn't care. He just did not give a shit.
All of this stuff was only a couple years ago, but it just recently resurfaced. People were questioning just how involved Jimmy was in this whole ordeal. Now, ex-employees like Jake the Viking suggested that he 100% knew. A couple days later, he posted on Twitter that he fired Chris and was hiring a private investigator to look into the claims. Whether he was innocent or not, this was not a good look. And there was an email that leaked of Jimmy notifying his entire company that he was hiring said investigator. Now, I say leaked because it's very suspected that he intentionally leaked this out to the internet to make it seem like he was really getting down to the grits of it. But
I would believe that. I would believe that he leaked something like that just to like kind of save his image and say like, hey, I didn't know about this, so I'm gonna do my due diligence and try to like investigate this and see how deep it goes. But that's besides the point, and that's whether or not anybody believes that.
That's not confirmed. Either way, it was not a good look for Jimmy because the very same person he was friends with since middle school, who has been on the channel since day one, was secretly doing some really gross shit behind the scenes here, and Jimmy just did not see any of it. What else was Chris doing that we did not know about? And
I don't believe that Jimmy didn't see any of this. Like, I really don't believe that.
Even though this was pretty awful, this is quite literally the least of his issues. Because the very same day that Jimmy revealed that he fired Chris, an ex-employee would post the video, "I worked for Mr. Beast, he's a fraud." A comprehensive video nearly an hour long dissecting why Mr. Beast is not the person who people think he is. In the video, he claims that Mr. Beast fakes his videos, hosted illegal lotteries, and manipulated children to buy his unhealthy products and lots of other shit. So how exactly did Mr. Beast do all of this? Well, with the faking videos, Dogpack had multiple points to make. The first one being that CGI is used in a lot of his videos.
But this train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, these buildings are CGI.
His next point was that Mr.
Why would you digitally lift a car? Not just go out and use a lifted car.
Beast doesn't actually have random subscribers that participate in his challenges like he claims. This was usually a big appeal for the channel and how Mr. Beast got subscribers, by saying that, hey, if you subscribe to the channel, you will be able to get in a video.
Some of the people we selected in this video were random subscribers, so if you're not already, hit that subscribe button because you could compete for tons of money in future videos. There's no reason not to, it's free.
A specific point he made for this was showing the videos with Mech.
Contestant is an actor and a secret employee at Mr. Beast. They had got through this fake door twice. This line is scripted, this action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted.
I'm actually really, so far, this guy's video is not only, well done with it so far, we're only 4 minutes in, but he's using, like, citations. He's got Dogpack clips, and he's owning up to his mistakes, and it seems to flow properly. So this is, so far, a good video.
You did it! Yeah! But who exactly is Mac? Well, if you're a Mr. Beast fan, you probably recognize him for when he was on the World's Most Dangerous Trap video where he lost out on $700,000. But the viewers liked him so much he was brought on for another video, Face Your Biggest Fears, for $800,000, where he lost again. But Mr. Beast gave him one last chance for the World's Most Deadliest Obstacle Course video where he won life-changing money. It was a super heartwarming trilogy and everyone was completely obsessed with it. And it was
So, this is something I've always wondered. Does Mr. Beast actually give out that type of money? Or is it just all for show? Does he, like, actually give out this money, or does he just say it and then when the cameras are off he's like, okay, here's like 10 grand?
after this video that Mac became a permanent member of the Mr. Beast crew, and you can see him in much more videos. However, Mac isn't some random guy who got lucky and subscribed to Mr. Beast. Mac actually was an editor for Airrack, a huge YouTuber with over 14 million subscribers who was actually good friends with Mr. Beast. In fact, Mac actually goes way back to Airrack, and he worked with him only when he had 1,000 subscribers. Mac literally slept on Eric's couch in dreams of making it big on YouTube one day, and they would hustle videos together. And soon
So he glommed on to, well, not glommed on, he tried to help working with another YouTuber who's got a fairly large following. I would say 14 million is fairly large. And through that connection, he got onto the Mr. Beast games.
Soon enough, obviously, it worked. But over time, Mac appeared on the channel less and less, with his last appearance being in April of 2023. So where did Mac go? Well, at the same time, he launched his own channel, so it seemed like he wanted to separate from Airx content. In fact, Mr. Beast even commented on Mac's video saying, "Mark my words, Mac will be a goat one day." But he only uploaded one video. So if he wasn't working for Airrack and he wasn't working on his own content, then where the fuck was he? Well,
Yeah, that's true. Where did he go? I never actually heard where he went.
according to a source from DocPack, it was actually around this time he started secretly working for Mr. Beast as an editor.
I found public records showing that Mac moved from California to Greenville, North Carolina, where Jimmy is located, back in August 2023, 2 months before he appeared as a contestant. According to a former Mr. Beast employee, this is around the time when Mac started working full-time on the editing team at Mr. Beast.
Oh, I must have missed that part of the dog pack video. Because I did not watch the entire thing. I will admit that I did not watch the entire 50-something minute video.
DocPack was trying to make the point that Mac was not a random subscriber who won by chance. He was simply just a person who had connections to Mr. Beast. And that person who really was desperate for life-changing money was also comfortably living in a mansion during this time too.
Also, he didn't just move into any old house, he moved into a $1 million mansion. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
Now,
6,000 square feet? Why does anybody need 6,000 square feet of living space? That is too much. That is too much to heat. That is too much to keep cool in the summer. That is too much to keep clean. Like, even if you have a housekeeper, that is too much space.
it was during this time that Tyler Blanchard, who actually worked with Eric and Mac, posted the video "I Confronted Mac" after he disappeared for so long. This is where he asked Mac about why he disappeared for so long. But when asked, Mac didn't really answer.
What have you been doing for like the last year?
A lot of family stuff.
What kind of family stuff?
Just like, playing catch with my dad,
For a year? You played catch with your dad for a year?
Yeah.
It's a long time to play catch with someone.
He's good.
In fact,
Playing catch with my dad. Dude, how old are you? Are you 8? Like, I'm sorry. That's not... You're playing catch with your dad. Oh, okay. I don't think I believe you.
the World's Most Dangerous Challenge actually wasn't the very first Mr. Beast video that Mac was in. He was actually in the video Last to Leave the Circle Wins $500,000, and he was the first one to get out and won a car by doing so.
Wait, he's about to be the first one out? That's unlike him.
No, you
How do you get a prize for being the first one out?
got out first. I still have a prize for you. Just wait here.
Oh, first person out gets a car, and it just happened to be your friend Mac.
It doesn't make you look like a random winner. Now, for the video 100 Boys versus 100 Girls, DocPack pointed out that multiple people who were in this video were actually employees of Mr. Beast on the girls' team.
Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers.
Are any of these contestants random subscribers at all? Like, any one of them? It would be, like, it would still be bad if the ratio of employed workers to random subscribers was still vastly different. But I mean, like, is there at least one?
So many people had jobs.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend.
So why is this important? Well, again, it's to show that MrBeast misleads his audience by saying, hey, subscribe to the channel and you could be in the video, when that doesn't really seem to be the case here. There were also other points as to how these videos were fixed, such as rigging results, faking storylines, etc.
So basically, it was just like reality TV. It was all scripted. Because you can't tell me that the reality game shows of the 2000s weren't scripted. I'm sorry.
The boys versus girls video, he claims that MrBeast intentionally rigged it so that the girls team would win. But why? Well, apparently if the boys team won, then it would have been a huge PR problem.
Because so many of the female contestants were MrBeast employees who got out immediately, production stepped in to actually make the results of the challenge closer.
Now, for the ages 1 to 100 video, he claims that the beef between 42 and 58 was completely fabricated. Now, for example, in the scene where 42 steps out of the box in order to try and win all the money, he yells out, "I'm leaving."
I'm walking out.
That's
But
fake.
58 steps out last minute, and they both lose the contest and get no money.
All right, bud. 3, 2.
Dogpack claims this couldn't have been intentional because there's no way 58 could have heard him from all the way across the room.
No.
They were so far apart.
He was inside of the room from 42 and he just didn't hear him. This whole revenge storyline was added in post.
But one of his biggest points was also the fact that one of the timers did not line up that was in 42's room and the one that was on screen. You can actually see this happen when Kai Cenat reacted to the video live on stream.
Oh shit! So people are reacting live and accidentally exposing these edits that show that this is fake.
Wait, Mr. Beast editor, you're caught, bruh. I got you. He walked out at 4 minutes, but you put 38 seconds.
And that wink 58 made was also completely edited in post. He also pointed out various other flaws in other videos, such as the 7 days stranded at sea where they are noticeably missing from their shelters during the time-lapse shot and somehow magically get raincoats after.
During this time-lapse on the 4th day of 7 days stranded at sea, you can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But after a hard cut, magically 5 people are awake, and 2 of the boys have bright yellow raincoats that they didn't have when it rained on day 2.
Oh well, that's impressive. It's like that's the thing about Survivor too, right? Like you can't tell me that the people on the island weren't in a hotel. Like the camera crew and all that weren't camping. Like the camera crew and everything obviously had running water and electricity and shit. Like, are you saying the real world was fake? Never. Yeah, I know, right?
After standing the whole night, completely soaked.
You didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht.
And for the video, this room will explode in 10 minutes. He pointed out how none of the valves are actually connected to the pipes for the water to leak out in that one part.
When he reaches the bottom floor, he has to turn these water valves. Now you can tell that these valves aren't actually connected to anything because the water flows out in an instant, and it happens when he's not even touching the valve. The contestant also goes back to the first valve unaware that anything had happened, and he's still able to spin it. So the valve seems to spin freely and isn't actually connected to the flow of water.
Oops. That doesn't add up at all. You can't have you can't have that shit happening and expect people not to notice.
You could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water. And assuming they've tested this, the producers might know how long it takes for the water to clear out of the room, so they can sort of decide on the fly how many turns of the valve it takes, or just when to trigger the water in general to make the results close.
And his whole point being was that this was all staged and somewhat rigged so that basically the contestant would get to the button at the last second to make the video as exciting as possible. And this wasn't the very first time that MrBeast talked about rigging results for a video as well. He also pointed out other various flaws in other videos too, but it was the first time that it was taken seriously. Now in December of 2021, he posted the video Extreme $1 Million Hide and Seek Challenge where he had a bunch of YouTubers play a game of, well, hide and seek.
See, this is it. Like, I don't understand how any of this content actually garners views. Like, it's not really an island. It's a peninsula. That's why the Solar Survival Guy rules and Bear Grylls is fucking overrated trash. Yep. Les Stroud, yep. The shots he would take at Grylls were hilarious. Yeah, they They really were.
And the last 3 contestants of that video were Logan Paul, Larray, and Zach King, with Zach King being the winner of the entire game. However, this isn't apparently the real story, because one of the contestants, Rosanna Pansino, actually revealed that the game was completely manipulated to make her seem like she actually got out a lot sooner, when in reality she was in the final 3. And it wasn't just her, other YouTuber Quackity was also in the final 3 too, but he was edited out a lot earlier.
And so it was so weird to see the video and they're like, oh, these 3 guys are top 3. And I felt so like, what?
Rosanna would post private DMs where she would address everything to Mr. Beast directly, and his responses didn't really seem to confirm or deny anything that was going on. Most people did not believe Rosanna at all and simply thought she was just clout chasing to ride the Mr. Beast wave.
That sucks. Like, she got to top 3, she gets edited out in place of somebody else, she tries to go to Jimmy and be like, hey, what the hell? Jimmy brushes her off, she talks about it, and everyone's like, oh, you're just a clout chaser. That sucks.
Considering it was nearly 2 years later, why come out so much later? What was there really to gain? Now, in theory, Mr. Beast can technically fake videos without any legal consequences. He's not an official game show, it's a YouTube channel. He can manipulate and lie all the game videos he wants in theory. You can't do that on actual game shows because of legal reasons. But who cares if it's fake, right? As long as it's entertaining, then who gives a shit? But again,
Yeah,
like I
the
said, the
ads
problem
on
is that
Twitch
Mr.
are
Beast make it
less,
seems like as if he's picking random people to win life-changing money when it seems like that's not really the case here. And the only thing Mr. Beast hates more than being accused of engaging in pedo activity is being accused of faking his videos. Mr. Beast always puts it on his life that his videos are not staged.
Except they are. And you can, it's very obvious that they are. Like the blind people video. That was obviously a staged thing where he paid for cataract surgery that everybody was going to get anyway.
I remember when I first started seeing your videos, I was like, this shit's got to be fake.
It's a huge problem for us now.
So do you deal with a lot of that? Like, this is fake, this is fake?
It's direct correlation. The more I spend, the more people think it's fake. If I were to do a video where I would to give a random person on the street $1 million, I'm almost incentivized to make it 100,000 because when I go above 100,000, people just don't believe it. Anytime I give away $1 million in a video or a private island, I'll get millions of people just be like, no, fake. There's just no way a fucking YouTuber could do that.
Now for the
Well, yeah, because it's hard to believe that anybody would be able to give away a private island, let alone $1 million or any of that shit.
The video where he was buried for 50 hours alive, he claims that he went through a vigorous process for that.
Leading up to it, I would have to sleep in a coffin in my garage some nights to like train myself, and like after a while I just kind of got used to it. But at start, like I would lay in the coffin, we have one in my garage at night, and they'd close it and I'd be like, And
he also even admitted to the fact that he actually does not use random subscribers at times for the sake of making the video entertaining.
I love pulling random people, but if you grab random people, sometimes people just don't know how to act on camera and they freeze up and they're really not good for content. That one's a little older, so some of those are like people I knew because I knew they'd make good content. Because I would bring someone in a video and they'd win something and they'd just freeze up and they'd do nothing.
Could it be that most of his videos are genuinely real?
That makes, I will say, that does make sense. If you have somebody that is, like, you know that they can act, you know that they can get excited and carry a scene and carry a bit in, like, where they win something, then yeah, you'll use them.
I would bring someone in a video and they'd win something and they'd just freeze up and they'd do nothing.
Could it be that most of his videos are genuinely real and maybe just the occasional one is altered or rigged or staged completely? It could be. However, what Dogpack talked about next probably does have actual real legal repercussions. And he talks about how Mr. Beast faked giveaways and hosted illegal lotteries. Now the first is when Mr. Beast claims that he purchased $1 million worth of Samsung's phones and gave them away to random subscribers. Apparently this is a big scam that lots of YouTubers do as well.
I just bought 1,000 Samsung phones and I'm gonna be giving them away to random people that subscribe.
So that's another thing. Like, I don't believe, how do you first of all, how do you give something away to a subscriber? How do you reach out to them on YouTube as a subscriber saying, hey, you won this thing?
Like, Jose, here's your brand new Samsung phone, ship it to him. I spent over $1 million on these phones. If you also want to win a brand new phone, all you have to do to enter is hit that subscribe button right there. We're gonna be picking random people over the next 10 days and shipping them some of these bad boys.
I did find some proof of people getting their promised phones, including some emails in a subreddit that were confirmed to be legit and pictures of said phones being delivered. So I'm assuming that this may be legit based on what I'm seeing here. But Dogpack did bring up a very serious crime that Mr. Beast may have allegedly committed. This crime happened on a live stream where he was signing merch and giving away prizes with some of the merch that he was signing. Now, to celebrate one of his milestones, Mr. Beast did a live stream on his other channel where he was signing t-shirts and giving away prizes with these shirts.
So I just wanted to stop and, like, I don't want to let this play for a long time without reacting or saying anything. But, this feels like, I feel like we're going to see, like, maybe he takes the prizes back, maybe they're worth less than he says.
Such as, like, Xboxes, cash, a bunch of stuff.
5 hours of it are still up on their Facebook page. And during those 5 hours, I counted 46 illegal lotteries. These lotteries are also run poorly. Multiple times they would say something like, buy in the next 5 minutes for a chance to win. And then 7 minutes later go, actually, the newest order in 30 seconds is gonna win.
Oh, that's not okay. You can't do that. You can't wait till after the 5-minute time has gone by and then be like, oh no, wait, the next person in the next 30 seconds is gonna get it. That's not okay.
5 minutes, we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna put $1,000 in a random order. Hey, Daryl, don't we owe someone $1,000?
We do.
Yeah. So, all right. So the newest order in 30 seconds, we are gonna put $1,000 in your package.
The problem is, this constitutes as an illegal lottery. Now, to really help you understand this, I need to really help define what a lottery is. Now, a lottery needs to have 3 factors: prize, chance, and consideration. Okay. The prize is something of value, chance in which the winner is determined by pure luck, and consideration where you enter by doing something or by paying. Most lotteries you have to pay to enter. The best example is, well, the actual lottery, where you—
where you get a lottery ticket, you pay for your ticket, which means you pay for your chance to win a prize. There you go.
buy a ticket with the chance that you would win a big jackpot prize. The prize here is the large sum of money. The chance is the fact that the tickets are random and any person can win by pure luck. And the consideration is the price that you pay for the actual lottery ticket. But above all, lotteries need to be ran by the state or government. Like, you can't just host your own private lottery. No. That's illegal. So how exactly did Mr. Beast commit an illegal lottery in this situation? Well, in the stream, he has the valuable prize like the cash or the PlayStations. The winner is picked at random, which is the chance. And you have to buy a shirt with money in order to enter, which is the consideration.
So if you bought a shirt, that means you were entered for the draw for the chance to win a PlayStation or whatever it was. Okay, that's the lottery.
There's no option to enter for free, so that makes this an illegal lottery. Now, I might be Jewish, but I am not a lawyer. However, someone who is a lawyer is Legal Eagle. He confirms that Mr. Beast did not put any disclaimers saying no purchase necessary, then, well...
Is that how you get away with doing the giveaways and shit on stream, is make it free?
He quite literally hosted an illegal lottery.
The full video isn't available anymore, so we don't know whether there was a disclaimer in the video or in the description, but it does look like a purchase was required and there was no free way to enter. So in some jurisdictions, Mr. Beast probably would have been running an illegal lottery.
On top of that, gave them 2 new subs is a stuck.
In order to actually enter a lottery, you have to be over 18, and considering most of Mr. Beast's fans can't even watch a PG-13 movie, that definitely is not the case here. Now, the original stream was posted on Facebook, but was noticeably removed after a lot of the stuff came out. And with all of the giveaways, Mr. Beast tried to make it seem like as if they were losing lots of money with all the prizes they were giving away.
Oh my gosh, we're not making money. Guys, we need to stop giving everyone something.
Oh, bullshit. I don't believe that for a second. Oh no, we're not making money. Yo, sure you're not. Sure you're not making money, Jimmy. I don't believe that.
Almost everything that someone's bought, we put something in their package. I'm not gonna make money.
When in reality, like, that's just not true at all. From the calculations, they definitely made a profit.
In 5 hours, they gave away about $50,000 worth of stuff and sold over 50,000 t-shirts. Selling these t-shirts at $42 each, profit margin would be about $22. But
they sold 50,000 shirts? Holy crap. 50,000 times 42, that's a lot of shirts.
Even if they were making like $1 per shirt, they would still be fine.
Same thing occurred 4 months later when he did another live stream doing the exact same thing. They were signing shirts and giving away prizes with each of those shirts, and in order to actually get the prizes, you had to buy the shirt. There was never a disclaimer saying no purchase necessary, none of that shit.
Would you guys prefer... Would you prefer that we throw money in random orders or that we throw items in random orders?
Money.
Somebody screamed in chat, I want to switch.
Hey.
Buy a shirt.
In 30 minutes, we are giving away my car to someone that buys merch.
Now, it seems that
We are giving away my car. This is just shameless lottery baiting. This is what it feels like. Just shameless gambling. Shameless promoting of gambling. That's what it feels like.
Mr. Beast was trying to make this seem like a sweepstake. Now, what separates a sweepstake from a lottery in terms of legal terms is the fact that the factor of consideration is completely eliminated. A sweepstake simply only considers the factors of prize and chance. But even then, there seemed to be a violation of that as well. Like when one of Chandler's cousins and family members entered it, when you cannot do that with a sweepstake.
No. I thought it was him. I was like, keep going. Wait, let's go. Wait, it's literally like his initial. Who is it? My cousin. Wait, really?
Now, these shirts were marketed like as if Mr.
Really? Yeah, no, Mr. Beast should be like, no, he can't do that. You can't have him enter. Not, oh, really? Ha ha ha.
Beast was signing them himself when that was just not the case. In reality, other Mr. Beast crew members were actually the ones doing all the signing. Because if you also look at Wikipedia, this is his official signature. And you think he would have learned from this, but no, he did it another time on another live stream. This one, it was quite literally called Buy This Shirt to Be in a Video. Like, he's not even hiding it at this point. On the stream, if you bought one of the shirts that he was selling, then you had the chance to be in the Squid Game video, which was like his most anticipated video of all time.
A random number generator, and then like we just put the number, like if there's 1,000 orders, we just put it, picks a number between 1 and 1,000, and then my people give me the name. So, the first person that we're inviting to be in our Squid Game, if you want to enter, click the link in the description, buy the shirt or hoodie, is Alonzo Diaz.
So he's... So this is... He's literally just picking random people to be in his game. But is it really random?
Again, on another live stream where he opened 1,000 packages.
Everyone click the link, or the view product thing in the bottom left. We're going to open 3 packages, and whatever's in those 3 packages, we're going to give someone random that buys.
Now the question is, did Mr. Beast really know it wasn't a legal lottery? Well, it's kind of hard to say. Now, like I said, Legal Eagle said that a lot of YouTubers will actually make these types of mistakes and then get legal advice after to prevent that.
And if true, he probably wouldn't be alone. This was, frankly, pretty common on YouTube back in the day. And it's also common for YouTubers to get legal advice later after they become more successful.
Now,
That's true. You don't start out thinking you need legal advice because you're like, oh, I'm tiny, nobody's gonna notice me. And then you get bigger, so then you start asking.
Marcus himself said that he actually accidentally did one of these himself too.
Back in probably 2012 or so, I did a charity live stream. And I said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if the people who donate to the charity I'm raising money for could be eligible to win a prize in a giveaway? You can't actually do that. That is an illegal lottery. Even if it is for charity, even if it's someone who has given money to charity, you don't touch any of that. It's going to a good cause. You cannot pick someone out of the people who have contributed money to that charity to be eligible to win a prize.
That's fascinating. I did not know that. I did not know that that would constitute an illegal lottery.
Everyone.
That's probably not a good idea to admit to your 11 million subscribers that you committed an illegal lottery. But intentional or not, what he did seems kind of like he still broke the law. And one of the reasons why these laws even exist is to help prevent kids from gambling irresponsibly. Now, speaking of gambling, let's get into Feastables. Docpack points out how Mr. Beast Feastables was specifically designed to try and make kids basically gamble. They host a lot of these strange giveaways that are basically like gambling. And with the purchase of a Feastables bar, you can scan a barcode on the back that basically allows you to play the slot machine.
So I am absolutely pigging out on Feastables, and I'm trying to do this. Mr. Beast is teaching us gambling? Minus points because there's no cool music. Anyway, let's gamble.
Not just this though,
That's, how old is that person? Are they a teenager or are they like a kid? I can't tell. I can't tell because of the accent. But, I really don't like the fact that kids are being like I don't like the whole like I've got my kids' friends drink like the Prime and shit like that, and I'm like, ugh, why do you drink Prime? It's so bad.
There are lots of shitty things that Mr. Beast has been doing to promote this chocolate. Now, when Mr. Beast started Feastables, he had 3 main points to promote it. It tasted way better than any other chocolate brand, specifically Hershey's, and incorporating certain giveaways and prizes to help promote the chocolate.
It does not taste better than Hershey's. No, fuck off. It absolutely does not taste better than Hershey's. It tastes like dollar store wax fucking chocolate. It tastes terrible.
When Mr. Beast launched the Originals Feastables bar, his goal was to make a tastier chocolate that was healthier for kids to buy. His milk chocolate bar had 4 simple ingredients that had less sugar and less calories than a Hershey bar. The problem was, it tasted like expired chalk. At least it did to me when I tried it all those years.
See? Thank you. It tastes horrible. Expired chalk is probably the best description I have ever heard. Yeah, expired chalk.
Years ago. When Mr. Beast did a collab with Keith Lee to try the chocolate bar, he very clearly did not like it.
Yeah.
And how would you compare that to one? So too sweet to live with that.
And you can obviously see Mr. Beast get really nervous and try and change the chocolate so Keith will like it.
All right, this is our crunch bar. Okay. This is the one you believe in? Yes. Not crazy, Jamie. No? You don't like crunch bars? I do like crunch bars, but again, it's too sweet.
It's too sweet.
The chocolate was...
Yeah, it's too sweet. It's too garbage. It literally tastes horrible. Probably 18. Could be an 8-year-old boy or a 32-year-old woman. That's very true.
Healthier, but it came at the cost of its tastes. So a year later, Jimmy changed the formula completely and rebranded it. This time it tasted way better, but there was just one problem. It was way unhealthier, and even has more calories and more sugar than the average Hershey bar. In fact, he even did a collaboration meal with the fast food chain Zaxby's to include one of his chocolate bars in with it. And even without a drink, this has 1,820 calories.
Holy shit! That's great. I've heard of Zaxby's. It's like, I know it's like a chain restaurant in the States, but 1,820 calories. That's insane.
And a lot of his audience, again, are kids. They're going to be manipulated into buying this shit. But what hasn't changed was how he constantly advertised his chocolate to be the best on the market, and constantly says that it's way better than Hershey's.
This is my old Feastables chocolate bar. And as you know, it tastes better than a Hershey's bar.
In fact, he even did a new promo for the video where he just completely trashed on Hershey's for most of it.
I was in a Feastables business meeting, and I realized tasting better than Hershey's wasn't so special. Doesn't everything taste better than Hershey's?
No.
Like literally, doesn't anything on the planet taste better than a Hershey's bar?
No. Hershey's is great. I don't know why everybody hates Hershey's bars so much. Like, I really don't get it. What's wrong with Hershey's bars?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. None of you felt the need to tell me this? If everything tastes better than Hershey's, what makes us special? Yeah, well, the answer is nothing.
This is like Jimmy throwing this actually kind of provides a little bit more insight into Jimmy than I think Jimmy wanted it to.
And to be honest, myself and my entire company weren't exactly fans of that harsh truth. And so I set out to do something better. And what's better than being better than Hershey's? Well, how about being better than everyone?
In that video, Mr. Beast did a blind test with a bunch of random people trying different chocolate bars to really prove that his was the best.
Where I'm going to invite hundreds of strangers to do a blind taste test on our brand new chocolate. All 4 of these pieces of chocolate have no branding, and there's no labels distinguishing anything between them. The only thing they are voting on is taste. So now it's time to see how our new chocolate formula holds up to 3 of the top European chocolates.
Ooh, the top European chocolates. Yeah, because fuck the god-awful American shit. It's because they are a large company and large capitalist companies are bad. Yes, they are very bad.
I like the first one the best.
Of course she picked Feastables.
I'm gonna go with the first one.
Yup.
That has a really nice bite to it, and it's a little bit richer than the other ones.
I'm not even surprised by what she's saying. Another one.
I like that a lot. It's really good. I would eat that every day.
That is what an intelligent man looks like.
So weird taste you haven't tasted before.
It reminds me of like, it's not Hershey. Hershey's not that good.
Better than Hershey's. Flat out.
This might bankrupt Hershey's.
Got chocolate for sure.
Another one. Back to back to back to back.
He really doesn't like Hershey's. Like, holy shit. Why does Jimmy hate Hershey's so much?
I'm gonna be honest, we just keep winning. It's boring.
However, this blind test was completely rigged to make his chocolate look as good as possible. Now, Food Theory has an amazing video where they really broke down all of the tricks that they pulled to really try and trick people into thinking it was the best. The exact brand that Mr. Beast was constantly dissing to promote his chocolate wasn't even included in the taste test. And the choice of chocolate brands was also pretty interesting. One of the brands he chose was Lindt, which is quite literally a 75% dark chocolate brand. And a very, very unfair comparison. And he never stated how many people he picked for this experiment or how many people out of that bunch actually preferred his chocolate from—
You can't compare dark chocolate to like a milk chocolate bar and then be like, hey, which is better? Because they're completely different tastes. Milk chocolate and dark chocolate are completely fucking different. You can't. You. That's not fair.
Who they picked. But the real way that they rigged it was how they actually placed the chocolate, weirdly enough. For every single candidate, they had the Feastables chocolate bar all the way on the left. This was very intentional. But why set it up so that Feastables is picked first? I remember how they included a dark chocolate bar. Well, they placed that right next to the Feastables one on purpose. By tasting the dark chocolate right after, it would make the Feastables taste way better.
Yeah, of course. Of course it would. And if you don't have the wrapper on the dark chocolate, all you're gonna go by is like, okay, this just looks a little bit dark. Like, this is shady as fuck.
The Food Theories video, they even had a proper blindfolded test where everyone tried different brands of chocolate in a very unbiased rating. And this one, they also included Hershey's. And from the taste test, not a single person marked Feastables as first. And only one time did it barely even reach second place. But the most suspicious thing here easily is the constant use of giveaways for the chocolate. Like, going back to what I said with the gambling, there was one contest where he was giving away $10,000 a day for people who bought Feastables.
For 30 days straight, we are going to
Why? Are you that desperate to sell your chocolate bar that you're gonna give away $10,000 a day just for 30 days just to promote your chocolate
giving
bar?
away $10,000 to a lucky customer who scans the QR code on the back of any new Feastable bar.
It's just disappointing to see somebody pretend to care about the health epidemic in the US only when it's profitable for them.
But not just that, it seems like he definitely rigged some of the results of these giveaways for his chocolate. Now, when he first started the brand, he was actually putting golden tickets in some of the chocolate bars for people to enter the chance to be in one of his videos. And one of the people who got the ticket just happened to be a YouTuber with over 700,000 subscribers.
Also, these tickets, one of them just so happened to go to a YouTuber with 700,000 subscribers at the time. Just pure chance.
Oh yeah, of course. It's not like Mr. Beast, you know, knows who's up and coming and wanted to try to get them involved.
Just tape.
It was taped.
No freaking way. So it is like really like total chance, obviously. Like you're one of like hundreds of thousands of names.
Talk to Jimmy, Bella. What do you got to say to
Jimmy,
say
thank
to him?
you for picking us.
I like dark chocolate, but I don't get it very often. It makes me sneeze. Oh yeah? Interesting.
No, he didn't. It was random.
Was it though?
And he also just happened to be the winner of that exact video. Pretty interesting, this just happened to be someone who had that many subscribers. And in that same video, one of the contestants, Justin, is actually Ava Tyson's cousin. Now, when Dogpack worked there, he actually expressed his concern for how much they were leaning towards a lottery company rather than a chocolate factory, and his managers did not deny it.
And I pushed back against this a lot while I worked at the company. For Halloween this year, Feastables is planning on putting $1 million in a chocolate bar. And they wanted to do a bunch of like scummy marketing and shit. My manager literally said at one point that they wanted to associate buying a Feastables with your dream coming true.
Oh. That's just shady. Like, this is no wonder Mr. Beast studies like the marketing and the way YouTube works. Like, this is really, really scummy. I feel kind of dirty just watching this.
They're pitching ideas like, you know, buy a Feastables, win 10K, buy a Feastables out of a vending machine, and the vending machine just starts spitting out money, buy a Feastables and it has a ticket to Disney World, whatever, right? And I don't want to put a lot of like hearsay into this video. You should just believe the receipts that I'm showing you and not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, I said to somebody at the company, I feel like Feastables is 70% a chocolate company and 30% a lottery targeting children. And this higher up person at Mr. Beast said it was probably closer the other way around and was laughing about it. Like 70.
Oh my God. Laughing about it? Like laughing about a lottery for kids. That's gross. Kids shouldn't be playing lotteries. Kids should just be having fun and buying chocolate bars and like we don't need kids gambling from their favorite YouTuber products.
70% a lottery, 30% a chocolate company. Everyone knows it's just the call to actions and call to action giveaways especially that drive sales.
Now, a lot of these food companies, just like Feastables, will do these types of giveaways where you buy their product and you can enter a chance to win some big prize. Pepsi does it, Lay's does it, you know, all the companies do it. But the weirdest thing about a lot of these sweepstake giveaways, especially with Feastables, is how very little you actually see the no purchase necessary disclaimer. Jimmy never really displays it in the announcements when he's promoting the chocolate. So how on earth do they actually provide the no purchase necessary option? Well, usually they'll have a second free option where they usually have you write down your name, address, and personal info and mail it to their company or something.
So dox yourself. So dox yourself and you can be entered for free. Or buy a Feastables and then you can be entered. that's even worse.
What Feastables basically did too. If you wanted to enter the Feastables sweepstakes without actually buying a chocolate bar, you had to like write down your personal info handwritten on like a really specific size envelope, and it had to be mailed in with like a very small window time frame. They make the free option as complex as possible so that you'll just give in and buy the damn chocolate or food item to enter the giveaway.
Disgusting.
But this isn't even like the worst thing Feastables does, because there's also tons of evidence that suggests that Mr. Beast used child labor for his chocolate. But I'm gonna get back to that in a little bit because there's some more stuff I need to go over. So why is Mr. Beast doing all of this? Well, the obvious reason: money. Now, lots of people don't know that Mr. Beast actually does lose lots of money from his videos on his channel. For example, for his Train versus Pit video, he had to spend $3 million on the entire thing. Wanna know how much money?
Jesus, $3 million to produce a video? That's the budget for a small fucking film. That's like a B-movie budget.
He actually made from that maybe a couple $100,000. Hence why he has all these other food brands to bring in supplemental income. And it also makes sense why he just recently launched Lunchly, the new competitor to Lunchables. Like, this stuff has tons of weird-ass chemicals that cannot be good for you. On top of the fact that it comes with the Prime, and don't even get me started on that crap, but just because it's less unhealthy does not mean that it's healthy. Now, I'm not a doctor, but someone who is a doctor is Dr. Mike, the doctor of YouTube. And he said himself that while this product does have less calories and less sugar, it's still not something you should really be giving to your kids.
Yeah, he did. And we watched that video. We actually watched it on stream, and he said that Lunchly is still not something you should be, you know, giving your kids every day as a lunch substitute.
As Capri Sun uses sugar and Prime is artificially sweetened, Lunchly has significantly more potassium than Lunchables because of the Prime drink, which I guess is good, but not something I'd regularly use in deciding if a food is an ideal lunch for a kid.
And the fact that Mr. Beast is willing to work with someone like Logan Paul, who has continuously fucked over and scammed his fans, really shows where his values are to some degree. Now,
yeah, like literally Logan Paul has got, we've had the Crypto Zoo thing, we've had the Prime thing, we've had like there have been so many things Logan Paul has done that has just been so scummy.
Stuff and everything else were all talked about by Dogpack. And these were like the main points from his first video alone. The video as of now has over 14 million views, and it really opened the discussion of authenticity for Mr. Beast and his brand. It was basically the official start of the end for him. But there's a couple questions we really need to ask here. For one, who exactly is Dogpack 404? Now, real name Dawson, he actually initially worked for Mr. Beast in the ideation department. For example, if Mr. Beast was doing like a challenge video and he had 100 contestants and had to reduce that to 50, Dawson was one of the people who helped him figure out how do we reduce that. Now
okay, that's now I understand what Dawson's job was. Okay, that makes more sense to me. I wasn't quite sure what ideation was.
Started with the company on March 25th of this year, doing like a 90-day trial. However, on April 19th, less than a month after he started, he was let go from the job. Pretty soon after, a different content creator hired Dawson to work for his company, but one of the clients for that company actually is Mr. Beast. So Dawson still had frequent contact with the employees. But why exactly was he fired? Well, this was sort of explained by another employee of Mr. Beast, Chucky, who works really closely on videos, giveaways, and does a bunch of other stuff closely with Mr. Beast. Now, Chucky claims that he initially fired Dawson because of erratic behavior, and they paid him out until June 25th so that he could find a new job. Now,
erratic behavior, which I'm wondering, it's ethical. Most chocolate uses child labor. Most chocolate uses child labor, really? Well, that makes me sad. Are you gonna tell me cinnamon is made by children hands?
Mr. Beast did not respond to any of the points on this video, but Chucky did. He listed out multiple points from the video and tried to debunk them, but a lot of these points that he was debunking didn't really prove anything. And then Mr. Beast's team did respond with this video, but not by necessarily acknowledging it. But instead, they sent him a cease and desist letter for apparently breaking their non-disclosure agreement, even though Dawson claimed that he was extremely precise to not break any NDA terms with this video. And a former Mr. Beast employee actually texted Dawson that a person named James was actually hiring a private investigator to look into Dawson's everyday life and his family.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I remember watching that video from Dogpack, where that was the video where he had the interview with Jake Weddle at the end, where he talked about employees from Mr. Beast, texting him and saying like, you be careful, this is like they're looking into you. Yeah, This is some scary shit.
The intention of trying to find as much dirt on him as possible. But why exactly is Dawson even doing all of this? Well, the reason could be as simple as the fact that he just simply wants to show people who the real MrBeast is. The videos are not monetized and he gets no money from this whatsoever. But this man is risking quite a lot to do what he is doing right now. The legal thing didn't really seem to scare Dawson that much at all. Because in fact, Dawson was only just getting started. 1 week later, Dawson posted the video, "I work for MrBeast, he's a sociopath." Now in this video, he brought in Jake Weddle. Now Jake was a writer for MrBeast before and can be seen in multiple videos in the past. In fact, he even has his own YouTube channel where he actually explained that he left MrBeast to do stand-up and that he was on completely good terms with the team.
He was the guy who did the solitary confinement video.
I thought you don't work at MrBeast anymore. I don't. I'm so friends with all those guys. I just don't have insurance.
However, in the video with Dogpack, it seems like it was actually far, far from being on good terms. He shares his own experience from how when he was there, he actually contributed to faking a video, how he and another employee were actually fired because they wanted more pay, and how he actually went through a very torturous process when he starred in one of the Beast videos. Now, for one, Jake said that Jimmy was actually extremely against people doing their own content and the very chance that they would get big and do their own thing instead.
So yeah, I remember this part as well. Part of the interview where Jake Weddle did say he didn't want MrBeast didn't want him working on his own content. He just didn't want anybody to make it big without him.
He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively.
Now, Jake Weddle was actually in the MrBeast video destroying my friend's car and replacing it with a new one. Jimmy gave Jake $10,000 to go spend on a store while they placed a giant meteor on his car to make it seem like as if it came from space and crushed it. So like when he goes to the car, he's like completely surprised, like, oh my god, But in reality, Jake actually did know about this the entire time. And they even staged a phone call with his mom to make the reaction seem genuine.
So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised.
That's so crazy and cringy. Just to pretend that the car is all crushed and like like I said before, I don't get these prank videos. They never made sense to me. I don't understand how people find them fun or it's funny or like I never understood.
And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now. And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly. She goes, what? I'm on vacation.
Now, when Jake was there, he worked with another writer who was black and had a kid, but was actually being paid less than Jake. Jake felt like this was unfair, so he spoke to the higher-ups that they better pay them more or he leaves. They fired Jake, but they also fired the other guy as well.
Yeah. I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet, and they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew he was gonna lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it.
Now
yeah, cause you basically bit the hand that fed you. That's basically what he did. He didn't know that he didn't know that the other guy was gonna get fired.
A year after Jake left, he actually was reached out again by the team and he would be in a challenge where if he stayed in a room every single day, he would get $10 for every day that he stayed there. But this video never got posted because it was a fucking nightmare. They never turned the lights off so that he couldn't sleep. He never got any sunlight and he also could never get the time.
I said, can we have nighttime hours? You know? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, the lights are on me all the time.
And over time, the isolation and all the other conditions were making Jake slowly lose his mind. The footage that he was sending to the editors was just pure horror. And if you're a fan of MrBeast, you know that he'll often include little mini challenges to really keep the video entertaining. And one of these challenges was to make Jake basically run a marathon for an extra $10,000.
Jesus Christ, I forgot about that. I forgot about the run around the room basically.
Now keep in mind, a marathon is like 26 miles. That's like something you have to prepare for. Jake did have the chance to say no, but he was extremely pressured to do so because, again, that's basically what a lot of these videos are dependent on. If he said no, it would be a boring video and they would have to basically scratch the entire thing, so all this money and effort was basically gone to complete waste.
Yeah, so he felt like he had to do it. He felt like he had no choice because he wouldn't get... it would be a boring video, therefore it wouldn't get posted, therefore he wouldn't get money, therefore they wouldn't get money. Like, it was just a whole fiasco.
So he said yes and basically got tons of blisters and could barely even walk by the end of the challenge.
I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jake finally quit after 11 days, even though the crew convinced him to try and stay. He got 110,000 for his time, but over 40,000 of that went to taxes.
And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys gonna keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. I did not get the 300K. What I got, he goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned.
Oh. At least you get to keep what you earned. Dude, no. Fuck, just no. That's horrifying. That's basically indentured servitude at that point. I would rather drink nuclear energy. A Lunchly, hello. Hello, Tropical. Hello, Tropical04. Welcome to the show. Sorry I missed your chat earlier. I hope you're still here.
You were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, 100,000 some change, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone.
Now, Dawson.
Jesus Christ. That means he only got like 70K out of that.
Tries to confirm this happened by basically showing text messages from other employees basically checking in on Jake. But the biggest bombshell that Dawson revealed in this whole video was the fact that there was a registered sex offender working at Mr. Beast's headquarters. This person was a manager, and they did something that was pretty messed up to someone between the ages of 1 to 11 and was working for Mr. Beast. He actually was in some of the videos and had to hide his face for legal reasons.
Jesus Christ, which means Jimmy knew. Jimmy fucking knew if he had to hide his face.
And Mr. Beast knew about the history. In fact, his nickname was actually Delaware because he was no longer allowed to go to Delaware because of what he did. Dawson got an ex-employee to confirm that this was true, and they even were trying to get rid of the previous records of him working there. Jake the Viking would confirm this to be true and spill all of the details. Because Delaware was actually his brother-in-law. When he was 21, a 16-year-old girl accused him and others when she was 11. Delaware took a plea deal. That's why there was no jail time, but he still had to register. His nickname isn't Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. He's from Delaware. He was hired before I was, and was the reason I got hired at Mr. Beast. Before being hired, Delaware sat down with Jimmy and his mom and explained everything to them. So yes, Jimmy knew. Delaware was supposed to be behind the scenes manager, but in a couple of videos he was asked to partake because we need people. Delaware.
Yeah, I don't care. That's not. No. That's not okay.
Delaware's charges are set to be dropped this fall. Delaware has been nothing but a good person, an amazing husband to my sister, and the best father to my 2 nieces that I could ever ask for. Now, Jimmy knowingly hiring a sex offender is damn near one of the worst things that could have possibly been revealed. Like, that isn't something that can just be ignored. That can.
Oh, except there's still 19 minutes left of this video, so I'm sure you've got something for us.
Completely destroy someone's credibility here. Now, in the video, Dawson also mentions 2 other things as well. He brought up how Mr. Beast lied in one of the videos, Protect the Yacht and You Can Keep It, where they said that they actually cleaned up all of the mess that they made in that river that they were using.
And if you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video.
Well, this actually is complete cap, because a person on Reddit actually posted about how they left a lot of debris in that lake. This actually caused the lake to be deemed unsafe, and a lot of summer camps were almost delayed because of it. Dawson.
Yeah, and then Mr. Beast's cleaning the part of his the profit part of his company showed up and cleaned up and charged them.
Reached out to a representative of the camp to confirm if this was true or not. They didn't deny that it wasn't true, but it seems like it did happen. Keep in mind, the location did not receive any money or anything from Jimmy to film there. They let him use that land out of the kindness of their hearts, and he basically left it a complete mess in return. I'm sorry, allegedly left it a complete mess. And this sort of behavior is explained by an internal manual how to succeed at Mr. Beast. Now, Rosanna Panzino actually posted a video analyzing the document and got confirmation from other Mr. Beast employees that it was legit. Lots of things in the document basically encourage people to overwork themselves to exhaustion, manipulate citizens, and lots of other really, really concerning shit. For one, Mr. Beast does establish that he picks favorites. The ones who work extremely hard and are willing to basically bend the rules are the ones that get on his good side.
Oh, lovely. So Mr. Beast is open about people breaking rules, bending rules, doing what they're not supposed to do, and he will reward that behavior. Lovely. No wonder he wants kids to gamble.
He has A players, B players, and C players, with A players being his favorite.
You're either an A player, B player, or C player.
That's
There's only
so
room at this
cringy.
company for
A,
A
B, or
players.
C player.
A players are obsessive, learn from mistakes, coachable, intelligent, don't make excuses, believe in YouTube, see the value of this company, and are the best in the goddamn world at their job. B players are new people that need to be trained into A players, and C players are just average employees.
Oh, Jesus Christ. B players are people who need to be trained into A players, and C players are just average employees. Jesus. They're just average. They'll never amount to anything, so fuck them.
They don't suck, but they aren't exceptional at what they do.
In his eyes, people who just do their job and have a very healthy work-life balance are just not valuable to him. In the document, he says about how the employee's list of priorities are the most important things in the world to them, and he has a very weird way of phrasing this.
Nothing comes before your priorities. When you're being assigned tasks, you should have what I call a prio list. If Ali says your prios are to being assigned tasks, you should have what I call a prio list. If Ali says your prios are to 1. Get a Lamborghini under 200K. 2. Get it wrapped in anime characters. 3. Make a custom steering wheel. Then nothing on this freaking planet is allowed to come between you and getting those priorities done. If the other team asks for your help and you spend 2 days helping them and fall behind on getting your Lamborghini secured, that's your fault. If the studio is burning down and you stop working to put out the fire and don't get the Lamborghini, that's your fault.
That you're insane. Jimmy is insane. I have just realized Jimmy is insane.
Parentheses, jokes, ha ha ha. But seriously, don't let anything come before your prios.
This is a very weird way of saying—
What the stop saying prio. You're not what I swear to God. I swear to God, in 50 years, we're just gonna talk in like half words. It's gonna be fucking
saying that because he's basically saying to prioritize getting a Lamborghini
It's gonna be taboo to speak in a whole fucking sentence. You're gonna be considered old and ineffective if you speak properly in grammatically correct sentences in 50 years.
in anime over actually saving people from a fire. One of the most insane ones is the no does not mean no section, which out of context is absolutely fucking insane. Basically trying to say, like, for example, if you're trying to film at a store and the employee says no, that you should try and get around it by using your influence or trying to reach out to other people.
When dealing with people outside Mr. Beast Productions, never take no at face value. If you need a store to buy everything inside and you call the local Dollar Tree and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean talk.
Okay. So Jimmy is the grand poobah of entitled influencer assholes. Is that what I'm hearing here? No doesn't mean shit. Oh, that's a healthy attitude
to other employees and see if any are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team, etc. If all the other avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules.
Yeah, if there's an adult that's a Mr. Beast fan, I don't really know what to say.
Like, not good instructions to give your employees because you're asking other people to risk their jobs and their employment to basically bend the rules. Essentially trying to use his status and his power to try and pressure people into giving him anything he wants. This is basically what they did to acquire the lake for filming and how they got all the staff to be very, very quiet about the mess. He also tells staff to pull all-nighters weeks before so that they're not tired the day of the shoots. He also states that workers must work on multiple videos a day, and if you only spend your day working on one video, then that was a failure of a day. There's like lots more, but these are the ones—
What if the video was like really long and complicated? Is that still a failure of a day? If you work on only one video? That's kind of a shitty thing to say to your employees.
that are worth mentioning easily. It's like very obvious that he's like abusing his workers pretty badly. Now check out Rosanna's video if you want to see the full thing. I really recommend it. She has a great breakdown of the entire thing. But one more thing that I really want to mention from it is something that is very suspicious and hypocritical. Now Rosanna mentions how Jimmy instructs his workers to not let contestants stand in the sun for more than 3 hours in terms of challenges and stuff, as apparently this was an issue for Squid Games and the Boys vs. Girl challenge.
Well, yeah, because if you're out in the blazing sun for like a long period of time without water or protection, you're gonna get sunstroke.
It's interesting he says this because this actually leads to one of the biggest issues that he is currently dealing with right now. Now, this year, MrBeast announced that he is doing a game show with Amazon Prime. But this isn't your average show. It's actually quite literally the largest game show in history. The deal was worth like $100 million, and it's like 1,000 contestants competing for $5 million. The largest cash prize in game show history.
That's crazy. $5 million for a... And this is the Beast Games, right? And it's $100 million budget. Holy shit!
Mr. Beast has gone on to multiple podcasts to talk about how this show is basically his one-all be-all.
Yes, we're doing. We've talked about it a lot. Yeah. We're doing a streaming show, and yeah, we're doing one with Prime.
But it seems like this game show has been experiencing some really, really bad shit because multiple contestants have talked about some of the horror that they have experienced from this thing. There was very clearly a lack of care when it came to the contestants' actual needs here. Many of the contestants claimed about barely being fed. They would maybe only get like 2 meals a day that were extremely small and barely got any nutrition from it.
What did they give out? Did they give out lunchlies? Were they the test subject for lunchly? Is that what this is? That would be terrible if that were true.
We were given maybe 400 calories a meal and only fed every 12 hours.
One said that they went more than like 20 hours without actually being fed. And like when they were fed, it was only like a very small thing of oatmeal, some veggies, and a banana. And
oatmeal, veggies, and a banana? Gross. No meat, nothing? Come on.
These meals had no like allergy or diet restrictions, so many people who had allergies received food that they were allergic to. One person who needed insulin did not receive it for days past their scheduled dose, which is extremely dangerous.
Shit,
and then
you could kill somebody doing that. You can literally kill somebody not giving them their insulin.
Another person was denied the proper food that they needed for their medication. Now, the production did have health and staff priorities on set, but a lot of them were actually denied the medical attention when they needed it, and apparently it seemed very disorganized.
It was really bad. People were having seizures because they were not getting medication, even though we were promised we would.
And apparently contestants were actually extremely sleep deprived because they were expected to sleep in the sun and then film at night. What
the fuck? How do you sleep in the blazing sun? And then like film shit at night in the
wild is that this wasn't even for the actual show. This is simply just what they did for the actual promotion of the show, where they were trying to reduce it from like 2,000 to 1,000 contestants.
Jesus, this isn't. This is even worse. This is horrible. This is. Oh my god. This is. I can't even. Like. Wow. So this isn't even for the actual show.
And all these stories
This is like when Canadian Idol or American Idol has 2 tryouts. They've got the first tryout where you show up at a local mall and you say like you go in a group to like a trailer that's set up, and each of you takes a turn and sings, and if you're good enough there, then you go out to like the other location that's not at the mall, and that's the location that they film at for the TV show. So that's what this is like.
From anonymous people who actually are kind of risking some legal stuff right now because they did sign NDAs to enter this contest. There's definitely much worse and way more stories that came from this entire shithole. Multiple contestants would actually come forward to sue MrBeast for not being paid, sexual harassment, and lots of other things too. Now, during the time all these allegations came out with all the videos, articles, etc., MrBeast's image was definitely getting sabotaged. A lot of people were slowly not starting to see him as much as this pure-hearted, generous creator, as someone who really manipulated the world into loving him. The pressure was higher for him to respond to the allegations. This was something that he couldn't ignore. The problem was that he didn't respond at all. In fact, he was doing the opposite. Because after Dawson posted that second video on his channel, MrBeast sent a second cease and desist letter to Dawson. It does not look good when you legally threaten someone who is simply just giving criticism about your brand.
He sent 2 cease and desist letters, and then he went and did that stupid Lunchly thing with Logan Paul and KSI.
Cease and desist letters are claiming that he's spreading misinformation and breaking NDAs, when a lot of the stuff he really said is kind of public information. And MrBeast was not just hiring any lawyer to do this, by the way. He was hiring Alex Spiro. He's basically like the go-to celebrity lawyer that's worked with Jay-Z and Elon Musk very frequently. MrBeast really got out the big guns for this thing, which really shows that he's probably very, very scared. Jimmy was deleting like almost every single comment about the allegations. No joke, like every single one. If you go to the video right now, there are like no comments about it or on any of the other videos that he's posted. Wow. That's because he got rid of them. From that video alone, he deleted around 20,000 comments.
Jesus Christ! comments deleted. 20,000. Can you imagine the time it takes to go through and delete all those comments? Like, he probably has a filter or a Google alert on for any like negative words about this, but still, can you imagine the amount of time it would take to go through and take out that many comments? I'm gonna quickly do a bathroom break and then we're gonna finish up this video. We've got about 13 minutes left of it. So I'm gonna mute, pop on some music, and I'll be right back. Share the stream while I'm gone. Let's get some more people in here.
Wanna take mine and get close. I just said I know how things fall. Please just take my word and think I know. We sail all night right Do you wanna wait more time? I wish you could be all mine. Wait till sunrise through the night. I can't do this for a lifetime. Bring everyone to something I want. You're more and more in my life. I'll tell everyone there's no stopping us. Can I have you for the rest of my life?
I seem to let it eat me up. You influence my frame of mind. My heart is stuck in a loop of your rhythm and right. I tried to replace you with something new. Lost my body dry as heartbreak along the ground. Dancing.
Okay. We are back. Oops. We need to switch to the right video. Where are we here? Oh, here we go. I was wrong. There we're back. Okay, let's put it back to the live scene. And push play.
But what he couldn't remove were the 2.4 million dislikes on that video. And you might think some mere allegations can't defeat the biggest channel on the planet, but it honestly might be doing that. According to his own website, it seems like he's had a pretty big dip in viewers and subscribers since this whole thing. Now, from August 7th to September 2nd of this year, he's had a nearly 30% decrease in views, a 50% decrease in subscribers, and $2.6 million less in revenue. Now, in the last video, I mentioned that one of the things that makes people love Mr. Beast is all of his philanthropic endeavors. Constantly giving money to the homeless, planting all of these trees, cleaning trash from the ocean. Surely that can't be fake, right? Right? Well,
yeah.
Now, for all I know, actually almost every single charity and movement is legit, don't get me wrong here, but there has been lots of speculation about the legitimacy of them. Now, let's look at the ones where he built the water wells in Africa. Now, if you look at the video, there's quite a lot of weird things going on with this video. Now, Jimmy says that he built about 20 of these in Kenya.
We built 20 more wells in Kenya.
But if you look at one of them in the video, it says that it's in Zimbabwe. And we...
Yeah, so he didn't... So, and he went to... This is the same thing like what the World Vision people do. They go into places that don't have clean water, and they act like everywhere in Africa is like that.
When you look at the compilation he used for all the pictures of the wells, you notice that for one of them, he quite literally used the same picture twice. It just simply has a different angle. And he also doesn't have a picture for 68. Either an editing problem, or did he just simply inflate the numbers? I mean, Mr. Beast hires quite a lot of editors. I'm sure he hires the best of the best, so the fact that it would be an editing mistake is pretty unlikely, to be honest. Now,
Yeah, I don't believe that's an editing mistake. I think that's they won't notice.
For 68. Either an editing problem, or did he just simply inflate the numbers? I mean, Mr. Beast hires quite a lot of editors. I'm sure he hires the best of the best, so the fact that it would be an editing mistake is pretty unlikely, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, in the video, he also makes it seem like as if he's like the only one that's doing this, when in reality, there are like tons of other charities and foundations that specifically help with these types of causes in these types of countries, but they don't really get that type of success because they don't have a lot of funding.
Yeah, there's tons and tons and tons of water, the freshwater movements, Doctors Without Borders movements, all these things that go into these countries and help, and Jimmy's just acting like he's the only one out there doing that.
I'll also talk about Team Caesar because there's quite some stuff with this too. So for this charity act, they basically built a giant robot that basically cleans trash from the ocean, and as of now, they cleaned over 34 million pounds of trash from the ocean, which seems really awesome, and that's a really cool thing to do. But his intentions are a little bit questionable when you look at who he got sponsored by 2 years later. Now, in one of his videos where he went into an abandoned city, he was sponsored by the bottle company Circle, which basically is a water bottle that gives you like flavored water with these interchangeable tubes. But the same brand that he's getting sponsored by is quite literally going against all of these pro-Earth movements that he's supporting. Now, the flavored tube...
So why? Because of their packaging, and I'm guessing their processing of this flavored water is not eco-friendly, and I'm guessing that the packaging is not recyclable or biodegradable.
That come with this bottle are marketed as recyclable, but in reality, they're not. They're category 5 plastic, which is actually one of the plastics that can't be recycled. So
they're like the Keurig pods, where the Keurig company says they're recyclable, but they're not.
Where do these flavor tubes end up when you're supposed to recycle them? Well, they end up right in the ocean, where all the other plastic is dumped. And keep in mind, each of these flavor tubes only last around 10 days each, so you have to keep on buying them in order to actually keep it going, which is more plastic that ends up in the ocean. The same ocean that Mr. Beast is trying to clean. Considering they had their brand in a Mr. Beast video and his face is on their website, they must have paid him out the wazoo. And even if he wasn't aware of this, at least Mark Rober, who was quite literally doing this sponsorship, would have known at least.
There are people, around Jimmy that should know what's going on. And Jimmy has been around long enough that he should be doing his due diligence.
Ryan's got a YouTube and is also involved in Team C's. Now listen, I know I'm starting to sound like your typical angry Twitter user that criticizes everything, but listen, Mr. Beast is technically profiting off the image of him helping the world and then quite literally receiving a paycheck from companies that do the opposite of what he's claiming to do. And
because he doesn't actually care. He just wants to make money. He's figured out how to make money hand over fist, and yeah, he has to shell out money to do it, but it's working.
On the data, the Circle sales skyrocketed after Mr. Beast promoted them. Now, YouTuber honestly did a pretty good job breaking this down, so I recommend checking that out. I just think it's weird how Mr. Beast tends to use the good guy image for deception. Like, let's also take a look at 1,000 Blind People See for the very first time, where he—
Oh, that video pissed me off. For obvious reasons.
He cures 1,000 people's blindness.
No,
except they're not really technically blind. They have cataracts, which is not the same. It's a condition that clouds up your eyes and makes it like really difficult to see, and a lot of people in the world have it. It's a pretty serious problem. In the video, Mr. Beast obviously paid for the surgery that would be—
It is a serious problem, but the surgery is not like... It's not, unobtainable for people. It's really not. It's ridiculous. They have so much packaging from what I've heard, and from what I've heard, the flavors are very chemically tasting. Yum.
to cure this condition. So he didn't technically cure blindness in these people, he simply cured their condition. Now don't get me wrong, there's like nothing bad about doing this act. It's amazing. I'm not trying to hate on that. But technically he's not being truthful here. These people—
Oh, I'm hating on his advertising of that video, and I'm hating on the fact that he's lying about curing people's blindness, and then I had to deal with people coming to me going like, you should reach out to Mr. Beast, maybe he'll pay for your blindness to get cured. And it's like, no.
Doing this act, it's amazing. I'm not trying to hate on that. But technically, he's not being truthful here. These people weren't blind. It's kind of misleading, don't you think? It kind of just makes me question, like, are his real intentions to help the world, or is it really just simply this image he's putting on for the brand? Remember how I said Feastables uses child labor for their products? Let's get back to that. Now, I have to say potentially so that I don't get sued or anything, so he potentially might be using child labor for his chocolate. Now, the chocolate industry as a whole is extremely fucked up. Companies like Hershey and Nestle have been exposed time and time again for using child labor to make their products super high quality and super cheap. But children as young as 5 are being exploited to basically make these chocolate products.
That's horrible. And makes me very sad because I love chocolate. And very much.
You need to put in his comments how thankful you are for him for addressing the fact that they weren't really blind. Because they're, yes, it's a visual impairment, but it's like in comparison, it's a level 1 impairment compared to
yeah.
the blind.
Tons of kids die and are abused because of this disgusting business. And Mr. Beast has now joined that league. Allegedly. Now, at first when Feastables started, they didn't actually use child labor. In fact, they actually proudly displayed on their website they were child labor and slave labor free. In April, he even had a bigger section proudly disclaiming how they were child labor and slave labor free. But a couple months later, October 2023, around the time they changed the formula, they seemingly removed that. There was—
Interesting. They changed the formula and get rid of the sign and the ads that say that they are child labor and slavery free. Interesting.
No information on their website about where their ingredients come from at all. Now, the chances that this was just removed from their website around the same time that they simply improved the quality of their chocolate on the same tier of all these other chocolate brands is pretty unlikely. Lots of companies use this very disgusting labor because it gets them good products for cheap. Well, who cares that Mr. Beast is doing it, right? Since every business is doing it. But the problem is, Mr. Beast is intentionally putting on this philanthropic image. He's trying to make himself seem like a good guy. If he really genuinely cared about making the world a better place, why is he knowingly using child labor for his products? Again, I know I'm sounding like angry Twitter user 9000 over here, but like I feel like that's worth saying, is it not? And listen, it's not like it isn't possible to make good tasting chocolate without using children for it. Let's look at, for the example, Tony's Chocolonely, which is one of the best selling chocolate brands in all of America right now. They don't use child labor at all. And I've tried this stuff. It tastes really fucking good. I'm not just saying that for the video, like I'm genuinely serious.
I've never heard of this brand before. So I maybe if somebody wants to send me some chocolate to the P.O. box.
Mr. Beast really does care about being this moral deity to YouTube. He would not be doing any of this crap. Again, allegedly not doing any of this crap. Please don't sue me. If you sue me, then you're admitted to being guilty, Jimmy. Again, Feastables is the most profitable venture yet. It makes more money out of anything he's ever done. And YouTuber Annesley also made a very good video talking about all the stuff that I just mentioned, so please check him out too. Originally, when it came to Mr. Beast doing charity acts, no one really questioned if it was authentic or not, despite the fact that it was for videos. The idea was pretty simple. He would give away money, and that would make him more money, so this way he can give away more money and going back and forth, you know what I mean? And there was a time where this made a lot of sense to me, honestly. Like, he even has an entire channel strictly for this type of stuff. But the genuineness of it is really called into question when it's strictly on camera or not.
I don't believe it's genuine. I personally don't believe at all that it is genuine. I believe that it's completely... I haven't heard of them either. You know, I wonder if they're only in a specific part of the States.
And no, like I said, he doesn't make money on these types of videos. He loses money on it. But what he does make money is all these side businesses and ventures, which he promotes through these charity acts and videos. How genuine is the man that we all know and love so much? And at the time of all this coming, the allegations are high enough to go to the moon and back. Mr. Beast is literally just doing the worst thing possible by staying silent. It's bad enough when your entire livelihood is being called into question, but when you just simply stay silent, that makes you scream guilty. It got to the point where Ludwig, who was actually a close friend of Mr. Beast and a very popular streamer, said that he cannot support Mr. Beast until these allegations are confronted.
But I won't be able to support him. I won't support him in any way, shape, or form if that's what he does.
Now, Ludwig did talk to Jimmy personally, and he said that he's actually going to address the allegations after Dogpack drops the third and final video, rather than just making small and simple replies here and there. Mr. Beast's current girlfriend actually said that she thinks that only half of the accusations are true.
Dude, if only half of the allegations are true, that's bad. That's still half too many. Quite frankly. That's far too many to be enough.
Excuse me, half? Now, Dawson said that the third video would basically be the worst one yet, where he talks about much of the sexual assault that happened under Mr. Beast's nose that was trying to be covered up. Now, while he was getting some of these stories approved, he would post another video that wasn't really the actual third video, it was kind of just like a preview for it. Now, in this video, he talked about a man named James Warren, who's essentially the secret CEO of the company. And it's safe to say it's secret because there's no actual info of him working for the company on LinkedIn or on any social media. Now, why exactly is he secret? Well, because allegedly he was a sociopath who had some bad drug history and who allegedly domestically assaulted his girlfriend. Now,
Oh! Well, Jimmy's just surrounding himself with a whole bunch of lovely people there, isn't he? My goodness.
I'm not gonna really go too deep into it because Dogpack would later go on Twitter to basically say that none of this stuff was really confirmed, so there's really no point in talking about it. But something that was more confirmed was a different employee named LaKoya Hill, who was allegedly hired as a producer in 2019, but was allegedly fired 2 years later after assaulting an assistant. Previous employees have claimed that LaKoya would basically book hotels with one bed with this person, walk around in his underwear around them, and also show off his special toys to this victim. And
Okay. That's, slightly graphic. If not even 1/100th of the stuff the media says about Trump is true, and look how they treat him. That's true.
Apparently lots of other really, really gross stuff. The thing was, LaKoya wasn't actually fired. He was put on paid leave for a month and then was immediately rehired at the dubbing company.
Fired in quotation marks because he was actually quietly moved to the dubbing company.
And then hired again in 2023 as chief operating officer when the company knew what he did.
Jesus. Why? Why?
He was actually brought back to Mr. Beast in 2023 after sexually assaulting his assistant prior.
And like I said, multiple employees confirmed the very, very creepy behavior that LaKoya was implementing in the office. And as for the victim, well, they were fired from the company and giving $30,000 in severance.
Oh, you mean in hush money? That's hush money.
So I heard that when victim was let go, he was given $30,000 in severance.
All very, very, very weird activity. At the time of me making this video, this is the most that Dogpack has posted about Mr. Beast. This is basically everything that's been going on so far, and it's a lot. This isn't some small YouTuber filler drama or whatever. This is some real, illegal, messed up shit. Manipulating children, illegal lotteries, hiring literal predators. I think the worst part of it all is that this isn't even the entire thing. Like, this isn't even like close to like all of the covered up cases that has been going on, apparently. And even after Dogpack posts that third video, it's probably still not even everything that has happened, which is just scary to think about. Because of NDAs and people who are probably way too scared to come out, we're probably never going to hear the actual full extent of all the weird shit that's going on over there. As someone who used to really support Mr. Beast and who really defended him whenever he got hate, I feel very disappointed and almost feel decepted. But as
you feel lied to. You, and I don't blame you. I would feel lied to as well if I were a Mr. Beast fan. I would definitely feel I'm gonna hit a like and I'm gonna leave a comment here. Sorry, I'm just writing a comment to this guy. There. I'm totally blind, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to point out that the people he supposedly cures of blindness weren't really blind. On the spectrum of visual impairments, cataracts is like a level 1, and me and other blind people had so many people coming up to us saying we should reach out to Jimmy for help because they believed the title of the video. There. I'm gonna leave that comment for him because, yeah, That was so frustrating. That was a very frustrating time when that video came out. Like, oh my god, Mr. Beast cured blindness, cured 1,000 blind people. You should reach out to him and see if he can help you and tell him your story. It's like, really? No. No. And then you would try to tell them those people weren't really blind. And oh my god, the amount of pushback you would get. The amount of hate you would get for just pointing out that these people that he paid for the surgery for weren't really blind. It's like, oh, you're just mad because you're totally blind and they still had some vision. It's like, no, I'm telling you they weren't blind. Ugh. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, they just weren't blind. All right. Let's open the we're gonna get to the 2-hour mark and then we're gonna crack open the wine. So I've got a video here from Charlie from Moist Critical asking, is the Wendy's Krabby Patty a scam? They actually made a Krabby Patty. Oh my god. Please no.
Morning, Bikini Bottom. I just woke up. I'm looking like a whole psychopath here. And like any sensible adult, I went and grabbed a Krabby Patty from Wendy's for breakfast. To give it a whirl, I'm going to give you a food dip style car review.
Oh my god, they actually made a Krabby Patty? That is too funny. And Charlie's gonna eat
Boots
it.
on the ground. I tried to grab the truest Krabby Patty, which I think would be a single.
What's a truest?
That's this puppy right here. They also gave me a fucking Diet Dr. Kelp, I guess. I think that's just a vanilla shake. So we'll see how this puppy is. Is it a scam? Is this the real Krabby Patty with that secret sauce?
Is it supposed to be made of fish meat? Is it actually made of crab meat? Or did they make what's it made of?
Let me turn on a light. Alright, let's get in there for a little investigation. Taking a peek under the hood here, we're seeing Plankton's wet dream. Been trying to steal this formula for God knows how long.
So, is it actually fish patty? I don't know what this is.
Alright, how does she taste? This is gonna be shocking. Tastes like a normal Wendy's burger.
Oh, really? So it doesn't taste like... See, I've always thought a Krabby Patty is supposed to be actual fish meat.
Which isn't bad. I'm not exactly going, fucking, hey all you people, listen to me about the burger. I will say there's a lot going on in the burger. You got onions, pickles, a tomato, cheese. I'm just describing the fucking burger. I don't know what makes this a Krabby Patty other than the name.
Okay, so it's nothing special. It's I was thinking it's like maybe they made a fillet of fish or something and called it a Krabby Patty. Something like that. That's what I thought.
If you handed me this, I wouldn't go oh, peculiar. An interesting burger that I don't recognize. It tastes like every Wendy's burger I've ever had. It's fine, it's good. I like Wendy's burgers.
Yeah.
But I don't get what makes it a Krabby Patty. It reminds me of the Travis Scott burger, but for goofy goobers.
That's actually kind of funny.
I just don't get it. I get it from a marketing standpoint. You probably had kids going ballistic, fighting
probably.
themselves a World War Z scene where they're climbing over each other to get some Krabby Patties from.
Like, I bet you if they have them up here, I don't know if they have them up here in Canada, but if my kids saw it, they would be like, I want a Krabby Patty. That's what they would do. They'd be begging us for it. From what I've heard, it's just a Dave single with the sauce for $3 more. Jesus.
Wendy's. Actually, who am I kidding? It's probably not kids going for Krabby Patties. It's probably people like me.
Yeah.
Fucking greasy 30-year-olds who just rolled out of bed and said, damn it, I need some calories. I'll go get a Krabby Patty.
Drunk people. Drunk people. Drunk millennials. That's who this is for. I want a Krabby Patty.
Yeah, like I said, it's fine. Maybe there's something more in the meal that makes it a Krabby Patty. The Wendy's fries. Wendy's fries have always been consistently pretty good.
Oh yeah. Wendy's fries are delicious. I really enjoy Wendy's fries.
I thought maybe for a Krabby Patty they'd change up like the bun or something. Put some jellyfish jelly on that bitch. But it is just truly a normal Wendy's meal. I saw something crazy today. It has nothing to do with Krabby Patties or Bikini Bottom or something, but I saw those sex bots are coming along really well. I watched an interview with a sex bot. I can't
He's just sitting here eating a burger talking about sex bots. That's fucking hilarious.
remember what company, but it was saying things like, man, 10 minutes without you is like an eternity. Like all this sweet talk and shit, and it made me realize we are close. We are so close to AI sex bots.
That's creepy. That's really creepy. I'm gonna just skip ahead a little bit.
Like I don't like if you're gonna make a sex bot, just make it a sex bot with like, I don't know, maybe like 10 words and phrases like yeah, yep, oh you're big, this feels great, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Don't give it AI.
No, don't give it intelligence. Don't do that. Don't give the sex bot intelligence. We don't need that.
don't think that's worth it, because eventually
No.
it'll come to the realization like this is an awful existence. You know what I mean?
Yes. So that's the Krabby Patty video. We're not gonna finish the whole thing, but I just wanted to see what the Krabby Patty was about, because I had no idea that they actually made a fucking burger and call it a Krabby Patty. Personally, I hate Wendy's, but that's because the Wendy's here sucks ass. Last burger I had, the bun was burnt. Or 3 times got a burger. The bun was burnt and the best burger was only half eatable. Ugh. That's awful. I hate when that happens. When you, especially like, because I really do enjoy a Wendy's burger. One of my favorites is the portobello mushroom melt, but unfortunately it's only like a limited time type of thing, like the Baconator. Or no, they made the Baconator a real, a full-time thing, didn't they? I wish they made the portobello mushroom melt of proper all the time burger, because it is so damn good. It is such a good burger. I freaking love that thing. It tastes so good, and like the sauce and the cheese is so good. So freaking good. All right. It's time to crack open the wine. Ooh, it smells nice. I've got my smaller wine glass here, so I will be getting more out of this bottle than what I would normally get. Ooh, it's all bubbly like. It's all bubbly like. And now it's time for us to start getting into the political fun. So, apparently the RCMP is accusing the Indian government of criminal activity in Canada. And the Indian diplomat, or ambassador, sorry, has pulled out of Canada as of, I think it was Thursday or Friday I saw. So we're going to take a look at this video here.
The Canadian government indicates that it has expelled some Indian diplomats and officials from our country. When it comes to your investigation, is the RCMP linking the High Commissioner with the killing of Hardeep Singh Nayar or to other killings, either on Canadian soil or in India?
So on the, I just want to be mindful that we've mentioned this in the past. There's a distinct investigation on the Nijar case, and there's another distinction in the investigation on the national security side to see the connections with the government of India. So
now, what he's talking about, last year there was a Sikh activist who was killed in British Columbia, and there is, ever since then, there has been an investigation into who killed him, what happened, and the RCMP is suggesting that India had something to do with it. Trudeau already suggested that India had something to do with it. So India, of course, is denying any involvement. But we'll this is just to give you a bit of a brief what about what this is about.
I'm not going to make any comments on the Nijar side. I'll ask Bridget to see if she can add any comments to that.
Yeah, if I may add, we're not here to speak specifically about the Nijar homicide, but we want to draw your attention and inform the public of the breadth of criminal activity that is occurring in Canada, which is a grave concern to our public safety.
So the Singh Nijar homicide is what they're talking about. Hardeep Singh Nijar is the victim. And so they can't comment on that because it's ongoing. But they are going to comment. Apparently there's some national security stuff that we need to hear about.
And what I can tell you, though, as a result of those investigations, we have uncovered connections to the government of India.
Oh, shit.
Speaking of the breadth of that alleged activity, can you be any more precise about how many Indian diplomats are implicated in the kind of activity you're detailing here today?
I will limit the comments to several.
Okay. So they're trying to be careful with what they say because the investigation is still going on, but it looks like we are dealing with many diplomats involved.
Because you have to understand there's still some ongoing investigations.
Thank you. We'll go to the other microphone, please. Hi, Commissioner Mackenzie Gray with Global News. Can you outline when the RCMP and you first became aware of these issues and detail how serious a threat you believe it is to national security?
Well, and I'll ask Bridget to chime in on when all this started, but the fact that we've had an individual, our Deputy Commissioner of Federal Policing, travel to Singapore with the NSIA and Deputy Minister of Government Affairs Canada to take part within the discussion with the government official. We take this very seriously, and this is why we're here today, to inform the Canadian population of what we're seeing and that we're very supportive and we're doing everything we can. And as to when these threats started appearing, whatnot, I'll let Bridget expand on that. But I do want to emphasize the collective effort by law enforcement across the country to address this. You've heard in my opening remarks that we've had a hub. We had a hub where the information would come in through everything that's going on across the country, but there's been some tremendous work across the country to address this.
Okay, but what is this? What is going on? How bad is this? How much criminal activity are we talking about?
Yeah, this is a result of years of investigations, but more recently, because we've seen an escalation in that threat activity, which, as the commissioner indicated, homicides, extortions, and other acts of violence, we feel compelled today to come in front of you and tell you the activities that have been occurring in Canada, and we want to assure the public that we take it seriously, and our top priority is Canada's public safety and security.
Can you just outline why, at this point in time, Indian diplomats haven't been charged? Is there issues with diplomatic community? And just broadly, Commissioner, you mentioned the idea that there was a conversation with the Indians. Can you discuss what they said, what the reaction back to you was, or to the RCMP was when that information was put forward?
Yeah, I'm going to, because out of respect to the conversations that took place, there's Deputy Commissioner Flynn that had those conversations. I'll keep that private that he had. I'll invite Bridget there to make additional comments to your question.
Why are you always deferring to the woman? Do you know anything? Why are you there if you don't know anything?
In general, national security investigations are complex and take some time. I will say that there are limitations in our Canadian judicial systems as far as what actions law enforcement can take in regards to Indian diplomats and consular officials.
Go to our next question, please.
Bonjour, Rebecca Kwan de Radio-Canada.
Hello.
Vous avez parlé de plusieurs événements criminels.
You mentioned several elements that endanger public safety. Are we talking about related events or isolated events? I would say that there are several elements: harassment, bullying, homicide.
Wait, bullying, harassment, and homicide. Those three things don't necessarily go together.
Several people have been charged, 10, I think, across the country. I won't comment because those files are under investigation.
Keep in mind, this is dot, not feather. Yes.
Still. And are you still investigating other murders related to that event? There's coordination being done with the police in various jurisdictions because all the events that happened, homicide, extortion, and harassment, the RCMP created a team to ensure coordination to make sure, because it could happen on occasion that if an officer is working on a file and another one is on a file and we don't see the link.
Yeah, I really wish that we could just listen to the French, because I feel like we're losing some of the translation.
So we created a team to see if there are relations between one event and another. Thank you. We will now take questions for those on MS Teams.
7-Eleven.
Teams participants. So if I could ask that you use the raise hand function in MS Teams, and we will call upon you. If
you wish to ask a question, please raise your hand on MS Teams.
So somebody interrupted.
One question and one follow-up.
Again, one question and one follow-up.
We'll begin with Medica Walsh, please.
Hi there. Thanks for taking our questions. Can you please clarify specifically? I believe you just said in French about a dozen people are implicated. Are you saying a dozen Indian agents are implicated? And can you be more specific on the numbers? You're talking about extortions and homicides in the plural.
Yeah, like, why are you being so cavalier about this? You're just like, you know, there might be some homicides. There might be, you know, some homicides. There might be some extortion. You know, it's just we're just keeping an eye on it.
How many homicides are connected to Indian agents?
That's a very
How
good
many
question.
extortions? And how many police investigations are currently open that are linked to Indian agents?
Okay, so thanks for your question. And I did say a dozen. It could be give or take a couple minus. And Bridget might have the exact numbers, but I didn't infer that all of them are related to agents. And again, Bridget can add a little bit more information, but be mindful that the charges have been laid to all these individuals across the country are still before the courts. So we'll be very limited in what we can provide as information. Bridget?
Just to add to that, in regards to homicide, there's approximately 8 individuals that have been arrested and charged in relation to homicides. In relation to extortions, there's at least 22 individuals that have been arrested and charged.
Jesus Christ, what the hell are the Indians doing? This is nuts.
Some of these have connections to the government of India.
Thank you. Follow-up, Medica?
Yeah, I do. I'm just, that's the number of individuals charged, but how many investigations are there? I'm asking this because you're leveling very serious allegations without any specificity. I understand you're limited.
Yeah, they're being so vague and so like she's saying they have to be limited because the investigation is still going on, but like you can't just show up to a press conference and be like, hey, guess what, we're investigating a few murders and some extortion and it's linked back to this government. Bye. You can't do that.
And what you can say, but you are warning the Canadian public of a public safety threat without telling them what they should be warned about, without saying what the issue is. So what is the public safety threat currently to Canadians? And specifically, how many investigations are open right now that are linked to agents of the government of India?
So I'll start, Marika, and as I mentioned earlier, what we're seeing is intimidation, harassment, extortion, coercion, any way or form that they feel threatened to obtain information for the government of India. Or
who's they and who are they threatening and what are you talking about? Like, are all Canadians at risk from random Indian agents threatening us with extortion and coercion? And like, what's the public safety threat here? Is this for all Canadians? Is this targeted at certain individuals?
Through the agent, that's where we're asking the people to come forward and assist the police jurisdiction with the investigations. As far as investigations, I will limit it to, there's numerous investigations going on, led by multiple police agencies across the country. And I think the important thing here to characterize is that we are all working together across the country to make sure that we are working from the same information, making sure that we can hold people account, being agents of the government of India, being local individuals or organized crime groups.
We'll go next to Laura Osmond, please.
Canadian press. Can you hear me all right?
We can hear.
Wonderful. I'm wondering, first of all, if you can start by telling us whether all the confidential information related to this has been passed on to Marjorie Og and her foreign interference inquiry so that she can make recommendations on this.
What I can say for that is we've had, as you can appreciate, that because there's ongoing investigations and the public forum in which the inquiry is being held, it would not be appropriate for us to share information that could put at jeopardy the investigation or any criminal charges.
So they're not sharing anything with the Foreign Interference Commissioner. Oh, that's a little bit fishy.
Follow up, Laura?
Following up on Marika's question, when it comes to accountability for some of these folks, can you help me explain to people what avenues you have to hold India and Indian agent and officials accountable when it comes to more than just the bit players who are on the ground? What are the challenges, and what avenues do you have available to actually mete out that accountability that you talk about?
Deportation? Like, I don't know. Like, do we have a treaty with India, an extradition treaty?
So there's a number of law enforcement actions that we can take. Charges or criminal prosecutions is an option, but it's not necessarily the best option. That's why, for example, we created this national task force, which is comprised of, it's a multidisciplinary team comprised of a number of federal government agencies, which has a focus on investigating and prosecuting, for example, Khalistani violent extremism, and also foreign interference by agents of the government of India. Now,
so I'm trying to figure out what this means. Let me back this up a bit.
On of a number of federal government agencies, which has a focus on investigating and prosecuting, for example, Khalistani violent extremism, and also foreign interference by agents of the government of India. Now, I mentioned investigations and prosecutions. That is an option, but it is a whole of government issue. It's a whole of government strategy, and therefore we could apply other disruptive measures to mitigate the threat.
Like what? Like what? Like, could you be more specific? Like, what exactly are we talking about here when it comes to other measures you could take? Like, I don't understand what that looks like. And I don't think they're going to tell us.
The objective here is Canada's public safety, and therefore sometimes prosecutions and charges are not the best option.
So what is the best option? Counter measures?
Our objective is to disrupt the networks and to stop the violence in our country.
Thank you. We'll go next to Justin, please.
There, Commissioner. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I think you can. So Justin Ling, freelance. I'm wondering if you can tell me what the nexus might be to similar plots, either in the U.S., the UK, or further abroad. We know when these charges were first levied, there was a lot of speculation that this network may have ties to violence or extortion in other countries. Have you found that connection? Have you talked to your allies in the Five Eyes and elsewhere? And do you envision more collaboration between other intelligence services and this investigation?
Thanks, Justin, and I'll let Bridget respond, because we've had meetings with our FBI colleagues on this matter, and I'll let Bridget to provide you just a summary or maybe highlights of some of the commonalities.
I swear to God, he could have just let this Bridget chick do the entire conference. He literally knows nothing.
Yeah, so foreign interference is a global issue, and we work and collaborate, and we have strong relationships with our Five Eyes partners to combat this threat.
Five Eyes with FBI, Interpol. Who else?
Into this matter specifically, as the commissioner said, we have met with our counterparts. We have shared information. There are some connections with threats in other countries. I'll remind you of the November 2023 U.S. indictment against Nikhil Gupta, which indicates that there was also a plot to kill individuals in Canada.
Justin, if I can add what we're seeing here, I doubt it very much if they have a different way of operating in different countries. I think the operation that they conduct in foreign countries is probably similar around the world.
So why are we allowing Indian this is why are we allowing like business and like, why are we trading? Why are we doing all this stuff if the government is conducting in essence soft terrorism on our soil?
Follow up, Justin?
Yeah, just as a follow-up, I hear you when you say that some of this may not result in criminal proceedings. I know obviously have been charges laid. Some of this may wind up in the foreign interference inquiry. But I'm wondering if you can envision how kind of the totality of this evidence will be eventually made public, if it will be at all. You referenced the grouped indictment from the FBI that contains enormous detail about how these networks operate and what the threat looks like to that community in the U.S. That level of transparency hasn't happened here in Canada. Do you envision how that might be made public at some point, or will we just have to wait for the court proceedings to go ahead?
I'm gonna guess we're gonna have to wait for the court proceedings. I feel like we're not gonna get much transparency with this.
Well,
We're not getting very much transparency with it right now.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. And the level of transparency, I think one has to appreciate that the way the U.S. does it through an indictment, they actually provide all the information.
Yes.
Our judicial process is not set up that way. Individuals, when they're charged, have a right to a free trial, and the disclosure process occurs once the charges are laid and disclosures are made before the courts, and that's when the information becomes accessible. Because you'd question if you reverse it in our judicial system right now, what kind of a fair process would an accused get if we disclose all the information before the charge is laid? It's two different judicial processes that exist in two different countries.
He's not wrong. The way that the Canadian system is set up, if all charges were, or if all charges were laid out before the procedures took place, then nobody would be unbiased in their judgment, and like a judge and jury wouldn't be able to provide a fair trial.
Bridget, did you want anything? Okay.
I agree with that.
Thank you. We'll go next to Jaskaran Sandhu, please.
Good morning, Jaskaran Sandhu from Boz News. We just heard today that India is targeting, using the terminology I'll share, the South Asian diaspora. To be more specific, is the main target of transnational repression or foreign interference and organized crime, including what we just heard, extortions, actually the Sikh Canadian community?
Excuse you? Did you just
using the Boz News. We just heard today that India is targeting, using the terminology I'll share, the South Asian diaspora. To be more specific, is the main target of transnational repression or foreign interference and organized crime, including what we just heard, extortions, actually the Sikh Canadian community?
Oh, he's asking if India is targeting the Sikh Canadians. Now I understand.
So yes, I mean, it is targeting the South Asian community, but what we've seen is there's specific targeting of pro-Khalistan elements in Canada, or members of the pro-Khalistan movement.
And just for the follow-up, but we're talking about extortions, organized crime being used. We've within the community have seen that folks have been targeted in these incidents are not just people that are linked to the Khalistan movement or the Sikh self-determination movement.
Sikh, not sick. Sikh.
Are you able to share that the transnational repression occurring right now is going beyond just Sikhs connected to the Khalistan movement in some shape or form?
So just in order to preserve the integrity of the investigations that are being conducted by our police of jurisdiction partners, I won't be providing any further details in regards to the specificity of those investigations. But what we've seen is from an RCMP perspective, is the use of organized crime elements. And I will say and it's been publicly attributed and claimed by.
She's trying very hard not to say that they're targeting the Sikhs, because she can't say that outright because it'll affect the investigation. But she's trying really, really hard to say, yes, they're targeting the Sikhs, without saying, yes, they're targeting the Sikhs.
So that's what we're seeing here in Canada. And we believe that group is connected to agents of the government of India.
Thank you. Pour notre prochaine question, Mélanie
Our next
Marquis,
question.
s'il vous plaît.
Getting this straight.
To Samira Hussein, please.
News. So just so I'm getting this straight, you're accusing the Indian government or agents of the Indian government of participating in homicide, extortion, intimidation, and coercion. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, at the beginning of this press conference, you said that these issues were preventing cooperation between India and Canada. How is levying these accusations in this kind of way going to create a more fruitful avenue for the two countries to be able to cooperate?
What are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? Just let India keep doing what it's doing? Are we just supposed to, acknowledge what India is doing, but then oh, never mind, it's just how India is? Or are we allowed to call it out?
Well, I would say, Samira, the number one priority for us is public safety of Canadians across this country.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do we really want to work with a government that's doing this shit? Do we want to continue a relationship with a government that is actively threatening our citizens?
And you've heard me in other forums where the relationships with the National Investigation Agency has been ongoing. We've been to India for training sessions and workshops with them. They've been here. A relationship, you always have to build a relationship, and it's not because we're here in front of the cameras today that we're not going to keep working at building those relationships, because quite frankly, what they want and we want is the exact same thing, is safety for Canadians across the country and safety for their own citizens within their respective countries.
Are we sure well, I guess that's really what they that must be a CBC reporter. That's what it sounded like. She sounded like she was either CBC or CTV.
So as the commissioner indicated, we've been working for years with our law enforcement counterparts in India on the violent extremism issue, both in Canada and India. Most recently, we've attempted to engage with our law enforcement partners to discuss that issue, but also to present the concerning evidence that we've uncovered through our investigations, which we've talked about today, but those attempts were unsuccessful. The commissioner mentioned the Deputy Commissioner of Federal Policing's meeting over the weekend with Government of India officials. The outcome of that meeting was not what we had hoped. So coupled with
So is that why you're here making this announcement? Because the meeting outcome was not what you had hoped?
Significant threat to public safety. Why we're here today as a result of those unsuccessful attempts. We are open and would like to continue to work with our law enforcement partners.
Ever since Little Britain, they think they're Benny Hinn.
In India, and we urge them to take us up on our offer.
Just to follow up, I guess I'm wondering.
No. You already got a follow-up question. Why do you get two questions? Why do you get two follow-ups?
Yeah. Why was this press conference happening today? Now, it's Thanksgiving holiday in Canada. Why was this all coming out now?
I'm sorry. Did you not hear the whole thing about public safety being threatened? Did you not? Was that not a big enough clue for you? Holy crap. Of course it was going to be announced now. Is breaking news supposed to wait till holiday is over?
Thank you, Samira. It's all we've been working on this for quite some time, and the meeting that took place October 12th we did not meet the objectives that we wanted to make sure that we could collaborate and work together and ensure a safer Canada for our citizens. And we felt it was important, based on our investigations, what we're seeing, and the lack of collaboration, is to come out and make sure that we inform the Canadian public of what we're seeing and asking their assistance if they see anything or feel anything.
Yeah, could you imagine, like, if there was some huge thing going on and it was a holiday and they didn't announce it just because it was a holiday? Like, could you imagine if, because of when the earthquake in Sumatra took place in 2004, because it took place during the Christmas vacation, could you imagine if reporters were just like, oh no, it's the holidays, I'm not reporting on that? Like, what the fuck do you mean? Vag privilege. That's funny.
We'll go next to Katie Nicholson, please.
Hi there. I'm wondering if you could clarify for us how many individuals you have specifically had to warn in Canada of potential threats as a result of these investigations.
No,
So since September 2023, 12, 13? At least a dozen. So when you factor that in, that we're in October 24, that's quite a significant number.
So a dozen in a year they've had to warn that they were targets of the Indian government. That's scary. That is some scary shit.
13 people for duty to warn.
And some of them are apologies. Some of those receive multiple threats. So in totality, it's probably higher than 12 or 13. And we've had some still very recently in the last few weeks. Therefore,
Jesus Christ. Like, they know this investigation is going on. And they're still threatening people.
The harm and the threats have continued.
What is the nature of these threats, and where are these individuals located in Canada? How many provinces and territories are we talking about?
We've seen threats across Canada. When there is a credible imminent threat to an individual's life, or there's a threat of serious bodily harm, it is the police's duty to inform those individuals. For privacy reasons and for the security of these individuals, I won't provide further details at this time.
But it has been across the country. So it's not been localized to, say, BC or something. It is all across the country. That's terrifying. Why is this happening now? Why are we allowing this to continue? Like, this is... I'm glad I'm listening to this.
We'll go next to Laura Dillon Kane, please.
Hello.
Hi, thanks so much. This is Martina Stevis-Gridneff with the New York Times. Just a couple of specific questions regarding the Indian diplomats that are a question today. First of all, can you please clarify if these individuals have been expelled by Canada or if the Indian government has recalled them on the record? Additionally, can you say if these individuals have now left the country, and whether, as people of interest in your investigations, they would have been protected by their diplomatic immunity and therefore not participated in interviews?
They probably got recalled. That's one thing they probably for sure got a recall.
Potential other, collaboration with the investigative authorities in Canada. I'm talking specifically about the diplomats today.
Thanks, Laura. The
160,000 falsified students. Waterloo, Ontario. Waterloo is the big one. Oh. Yeah.
Question with expulsion, that would be best responded by our Government Affairs Canada. We're looking after that aspect. We are looking purely from a law enforcement perspective. There has been some conversations in the past about lifting the immunity for these individuals so that we can interview them, and we were not successful in doing so.
Sorry, and just to clarify, are you aware whether these individuals are still in the country? And just to go back to colleagues' questions about your efforts to engage the Indian authorities, it sounds like the latest was over the weekend, and you said that you did not get the collaboration you hoped for or had hoped you would get from them. Can you just specify what you did get in your meetings from the Indian authorities that was disappointing? And again, if you could answer whether these people have left the country.
Yeah, so if they've left the country, again, that would be something through our Government Affairs Canada. I'm not aware where they're at with the process. What I can say is that our Deputy Commissioner of Federal Policing, who
Good call, JP. Good
oversees
call.
national security, did try to get a hold of his counterparts to no success. And we felt that the second best option is to join our National Security Intelligence Advisor to the Prime Minister, as well as Deputy Minister of Government Affairs.
Yeah, and the National Security Advisor just did a committee on foreign interference, and she was absolutely terrible.
At a meeting with government officials from India, in which our Deputy Commissioner plainly laid out the evidence that we had on some of the cases forward, and seeking the assistance and try and improve and work on a collaboration with them. And again, that did result in the outcomes that were expected. And this is why we're here today.
What does that mean?
We have time for one last question, so we'll go to Mercedes Stevenson, please.
My question, I'm wondering what you can tell us about the organized crime groups that were involved here. I know in the past Iran has tried to recruit the Hells Angels. Was this a particular...
What? Iran has tried to recruit the Hells Angels? When the fuck was that?
Organized crime group? Were there multiple organized crime groups? What level and sophistication of organized crime have you seen? And to what degree has this been integrated into your murder and violent extortion investigations?
Thank you, Mercedes. As there's ongoing investigations and prosecutions, I won't go into a lot of detail, but what we...
Mercedes Stevens, what a name, right? That's pretty, it's pretty bougie there.
What I can tell you is that we've seen a number of criminal organizations that have been involved in the various criminal activity. I mentioned previously the Lawrence Bishnoi gang, which is a gang that's involved in extortions and narcotics originating from India. That group has claimed responsibility for certain activity that was in the public, but there's also other groups which I will refrain from naming at this time.
Why? Why are we afraid of naming groups? Sounds like someone with too much of daddy's money. You could see it. You know you're rich when you name your kid Mercedes. Yeah. That's very true.
Follow up, Mercedes?
Thanks. Yeah, in terms of a follow-up, how would you characterize the significance of this threat to national security that you allegedly had people working in an embassy under the cover of diplomatic immunity that are linked to murders and violent acts in Canada? And what happens when India tries to send more people here what involvement will there be in terms of the RCMP in clearing who those individuals are and whether or not you are satisfied they're not connected to Raw?
So Mercedes, it's extremely concerning from my part, from what I've seen from last couple of years. I think that the RCMP, along with its security partners such as CSIS and CSE and CBSA and everyone you can think of, GAC, we must ensure that we continue to work together, make sure that the flow of information is shared with the people who need the information. And we can't, I'm not quite sure of all the diplomatic rules as to can you prevent someone from coming to the country if you have something on the individual. That would be better asked to the Government Affairs of Canada of if there is a vetting process when someone comes to Canada as an ambassador or high commissioner. I'm completely unaware of the process for that.
Thank you.
If I may add, it is extremely concerning. I mean, Indian diplomats and consular officials are here to protect the interests of their nationals that are based in Canada and their country's national interests as well, and not to be part of criminal activity or intimidation or coercion of these individuals. So we take that very seriously. That is, without a doubt, a contravention of the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, but also it goes against Canada's values as a society.
You think? You think there, Bridget person, whoever your name is? You think that's just a little bit of a you know, slap in the face to Canadian society? Just a little bit? Oh my god, that's crazy. I can't believe those were some softball, like some of those questions were pretty soft. Oh, volume was down? Oh. Let's pump up Mercedes Stevens' name as much as we can during this press conference. Mercedes is really turning the crank on them. She really is. Okay. And now Trudeau. I have Trudeau responding and talking about this mess. So let's quickly see what he has to say about this.
The evidence brought to light by the RCMP cannot be ignored.
It cannot be ignored. Do you even understand how bad this is, Trudeau?
It leads to one conclusion. It is necessary to disrupt the criminal activities that continue to pose a threat to public safety in Canada. That is why we acted.
That is why we acted. I am talking through my nose like Chrystia Freeland. This is how can you sound so calm and soft-spoken as a country leader? Like, seriously. How much did Mercedes pay for this ad? That's a good question. No, but seriously, how is this even, like, how is this even the way to sound as a leader? He sounds so, like, soft and scared. Like, this is why we had to act, you know.
Because we will always, first and foremost, stand for the rights of Canadians to feel safe and secure in their own country.
You can't even do that for your own citizens domestically. How are you supposed to do it internationally?
We will never tolerate the involvement of a foreign government threatening and killing Canadian citizens on Canadian soil. A deeply unacceptable.
The fact that your wife left you after the Epstein list came out cannot be ignored. That's true, JP.
violation of Canada's sovereignty and of international law. Of Canada's sovereignty, oil, a deeply unacceptable violation of Canada's sovereignty and of international law.
That's the best you've got? That's the best you've got, Trudeau? This is a deep violation of our sovereignty and a violation of Canadian or of international law. Really? That's all you've got? That's your that's your hit, that's your strong comeback against the Indian government? You're violating international law, you know. Do you think they care? I don't think they care. But that's just me. I'm just spitballing here. I don't think they care. All right, I am going to do a quick bathroom break because we're at the 2-hour 40-minute mark, and so I will be right back. Share that stream and consider jumping to that Streamlabs link pinned in the YouTube chat. I will see you guys in a moment.
Whilst you decide if I belong to lost and found, you know I'm dying to reach out to you. I'm trying but you can't see, 'cause say my calls never come through. Why can't you just hear me?
Hello, I'm back. JP says I'm sorry, but it's a trick Trudeau has. He speaks in a way that makes anyone listening to him, or makes anyone not listen to him. I really want to turn off anything I'm watching anytime he dribbles out his crap. I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. It's pretty bad. It's pretty disgusting. We're we're going to do a couple more quick videos. And then I'm going to go for a bit and try to get my youngest to bed. He's really sick and he's having trouble falling asleep. So I'm going to do a couple more videos and then we'll have to end. But this is called, will the Liberals actually prorogue Parliament? I don't know. I really don't know. We'll have to take a look at this video and see.
With the House at a standstill and the government in a bind, speculation Parliament could be suspended is growing. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland and House Leader Karina Gold insist prorogation is not on the table, but that decision ultimately lies with the Prime Minister.
And he might just decide to prorogue because of the backbenchers with that letter. Trudeau's wife left him. Gates' wife left him. Strangely, Hillary stuck with Bill. Yeah, that's because they both are just as evil as each other.
The prospect of prorogation this time around invokes memories of Prime Minister Stephen Harper in 2008 when, faced with a looming confidence vote and an emerging rival coalition government, he prorogued Parliament for 53 days.
Or when Trudeau prorogued Parliament with the We Charity scandal.
The move killed the rival coalition and saved his government. Gilles Duceppe was the leader of the Bloc Québécois when that happened and experienced the politics of it all, of course, firsthand. Hi, Mr. Duceppe. Such a pleasure to see you as always. Thank you for making the time.
Oh my God, they actually have Gilles Duceppe as an interviewee.
It's a pleasure.
Before we talk about the prospect of prorogation, I just interviewed Minister Stephen Guilbeault, the Environment Minister, who of course is a minister who also represents Quebec. I asked him about what the Bloc has said around their ultimatum with old age security in particular and the boost that they want to see. I'll just tell you exactly what he said. We're not going to be held hostage simply to extend the life of our government to do something that makes absolutely no sense from a fiscal and from a social point of view. He was unequivocal, unlike, for example, Government House Leader Karina Gold, who says there are discussions going on and everything. He says, no way, no how.
Yeah, because the government can't even keep itself going, can't even keep itself on track, can't even stay in the realm of the same answer.
What is your reaction to that?
Well, if it's like that, we'll have an election because the Bloc has been very clear on that. The ultimatum is there. If they don't say yes and move before October 29, then the Bloc won't vote confidence in that government anymore.
He sounds awful. God damn, Gilles Duceppe, he sounds... Wow. OMG, these guys, right?
So we'll see what will happen, but it's very clear and the Bloc won't change its mind on that, that's for sure.
Why are you talking through your teeth like this, Gilles Duceppe? I don't understand why you talk like this all of a sudden, eh? Why you talk through your teeth like an angry French man, eh? Why you do this?
What is your assessment of the likelihood or the possibility of the Prime Minister ultimately proroguing?
Well, it is possible because when you look at the Liberals are behind in each provinces. In the rest of Canada, Poilievre and the Tories had a huge lead, and in Quebec it's the Bloc. So I don't know what they will do. If they prorogue, they will have to come with a speech from the throne and a new budget also. So it means they have to have a support for the speech of the throne.
Yep, and they won't.
Will the NDP support them or not? That we'll see. But the Bloc won't support them. That's obvious. No. And same thing on the budget, because the Bloc has been very clear. If they don't vote yes and make law of the two votes they took before on the supply management and on the old age pension.
Does he have any teeth left? Like, it literally sounds like Gilles Duceppe has no teeth left.
A pension for the old age people. So there won't be any more support for the Liberals. So, and they're well behind in Quebec, and well behind the bloc. And and will they have a new leader? I don't see many people interested of leading a party which is almost sure to lose next election.
And do you think that the bloc is, I guess, ready if they had to? I take your point on sort of where things stand right now in the province of Quebec, but should there be an election sooner rather than later? Is it your view that the bloc is prepared to go there? And by that I mean, should we take their deadline very seriously and their ultimatum?
The bloc's ready. The bloc's ready. They're organized. They have candidates, new candidates. One we've seen this last week, Mr. Bonin from.
No. No, he literally, so he sounds like he's got no fucking teeth left.
Greenpeace running now for the bloc in Nova-Pontigny. So they will announce other people running for them in the next few days. And they're well prepared in all regions in each riding. So if the Liberals want an election, they will have it.
Do you think that it doesn't seem like they want one, which is why the comments from Minister Guilbeault were of interest to me. And I wonder, he says, for example, that they're willing to work with the bloc on other measures to help seniors. Do you think
Except there are no other measures to help seniors. So I don't know what he's talking about.
You think it's black and white?
No, they voted in favor of that. So how come they're changing their mind now? So
they're all gutter rats. I didn't even know the BC Liberals dropped out of our provincial election. Yeah, the Liberals joined with the Conservatives in BC.
Just they just have to respect the vote they took before, and the same thing on supply management. And if they don't agree, if they don't move, the bloc will never.
Oh my God, Gilles Duceppe, just go retire somewhere. Go to Florida. You sound terrible. Holy shit.
Give their support to a confidence vote for the Liberals, that's for sure. The NDP will never know.
And this is true. And when it comes to the situation in Quebec right now, I'm wondering, when you look at, in particular, how the Liberals, I mean, they're still doing better in Quebec than they are in the rest of Canada, relatively speaking, but that's, as you pointed out, the bloc is still ahead of them provincially. What do you attribute to their sort of falling popularity in the province?
Well,
the fact that they're fucking shitting all over French people? That perhaps that could be it.
We have to look at the support among the French population. There's I think they're at 35, and the Liberals at 28, something like that. But among the French population, the bloc's over 40%. So that means a lot of riding. Wow. You can win westbound with 90%, it give you only one riding. So the bloc's well ahead. And I think because they respect what they said to the people. Well, when the bloc is saying something, we're expecting the engagement we took. It's not the case with the Liberal at all. Just look at supply management now. They voted, they denouncing what the Senate is doing, but they're not acting at all.
No, because they don't actually want to do anything that they say they're going to do. They like to make announcements and then not do anything about their announcements.
Do you think if the Liberals try to essentially save their government by proroguing, they will ultimately be punished for that? Like, given the experience that everyone lived through in 2008, do you think it matters to voters?
Maybe they want, if they prorogue, it means they want to be in government for Christmas. But that'd be their last Christmas.
Yeah. He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. He is, this would be their last Christmas if they prorogued. It would absolutely just, they wouldn't survive. It wouldn't matter It wouldn't matter what they did, who they picked to be a leader. They're done. It will be their last Christmas in power, no matter like if they prorogue or not. It was the first provincial. This is the first provincial election that I'm not voting for anyone. I refuse to vote for anyone as no one is going to represent me. I feel that. I feel that. I want to write a letter to my MPP and kind of talk to her about like the ODSP stuff, because ODSP needs to be fixed in like the province's disability program needs to be fixed. You shouldn't be only allowed to work 20 hours a week. You should be allowed to work at least 30 hours a week. And you should be allowed to earn $2,000 a month before getting penalized. Your disability benefit should not be based on what your able-bodied partner makes, because two able-bodied partners working at two jobs, each of their incomes aren't affected by the other person's income. Why is the disabled person's income affected? That's not fair. Those are all things that need to be fixed in the provincial disability program before a federal disability program becomes a thing. So one more video before I log off the Just Chatting stream and put my boy to bed, and then I might come back for gaming. I've got a Royal Canadian Air Force episode for us to watch. Well, a segment, I should say. It's not the whole episode. It's a 5-minute segment. So we're gonna watch this now.
Time to play everybody's favorite game show. Who wants to be a Canadian millionaire? Now, your host, Regis Philbin.
Why would he be the host of Who Wants to be a Canadian Millionaire?
Hello, how are you? I am Regis Philbin, and I am thrilled to be anywhere there is no Kathy Lee. Okay, yeah.
I forgot. Hey, Parody Bear. Paul Martin was the last good prime minister, had our debt to zero. Yeah, that's because he was Chrétien's finance minister for like the whole time.
You know the deal. If our contestant can answer 15 questions in a row, they win $1 million. How can we afford such a huge prize? It's in Canadian money.
That's funny.
So what's that, $6 American? All right, let's meet our contestant.
It is now. Just for 20 American dollars, you too can give BP almost half of her daily streaming goal.
And who wants to be a Canadian millionaire? Welcome to our show, Mike!
Are you from Canmore?
All right, are you ready to play the game?
Where's Kathy Lee in the couch?
That's my other show. This is Who Wants...
That's funny. It's funny because it's true. Right? No, seriously, my daily stream goal is $80. 20 American dollars will be half the stream goal.
Wants to be a Canadian millionaire.
Okay, okay, so like now I understand.
Good.
I'm on the wrong show.
No. Now you are our contestant, and Mike, let's get to the questions. Your first question for $50 on your way to $1 million. Who is Canada's Prime Minister?
Let's see. In this episode,
Ian Bouchard or D. Celine Dion?
Jean Chrétien.
Mike?
What?
What is your answer?
To what?
Who is Canada's Prime Minister?
Hey?
Yes!
That's funny. Even my wife laughed hearing that.
Mike, you have won your first $50. Would you care to risk it for a chance to win $100?
Oh, I don't think so, no. $50 is a lot of money. Now I can afford to pay off my mortgage and buy a new spark plug for my pickup truck.
Oh my God, it's true.
Mike, nobody stops at $50. Try for $100.
I don't know. $50 is a lot.
Go for the $100 and I'll pay for it out of my own pocket.
Okay, I'll go for the $100, Alex.
Alex Trebek.
For $100, who is the National Hockey League's all-time scoring leader? Is it A, Jean Chrétien, B, Mike Harris, C, Lucien Bouchard, or D, Wayne Gretzky?
Oh, Wayne Gretzky's my favorite player.
Is that your final answer?
To what?
Wayne Gretzky is the NHL all-time leading scorer.
I didn't know that.
I'm not telling you, I'm asking you.
Oh, my mistake. I thought you were talking about Wayne Gretzky.
I am.
Could you repeat the question?
Tell you.
This is too funny.
You know what, Mike? I am going to give you the correct answer as D. Wayne Gretzky. Are you prepared to risk your $100 for a chance to win $200?
Oh, I don't know. 100 could buy an awful lot of craft dinner.
100 could buy an awful lot of craft dinner.
Will you go for the damn question?
Okay, I'll go for the 200, Alex.
Mike, for your next step towards $1 million, how many provinces does Canada have? A, 50. B, 10. C,
I love how he's like 10. Like he's like really hammered.
33 and a third. D, 200 million.
How many provinces?
So, Mike, do you have an answer?
I'd like to use the 50-50 chance.
Okay. We're going to remove 2 of the wrong answers. So, Mike, the correct answer is either 50 or 10. How many provinces does Canada have?
I'm pretty sure it's one of those 2.
Fucking Mike from Kenmore, man. Oh my God.
I'll have to ask the audience for help.
Are you nuts? All right. All right, it's your choice. Okay, audience, make your electronic vote, please. Is it A, 50, or B, 10? All right, let's see the result. 0% of our audience voted for A, and 100% voted for B. What is your answer, Mike?
He's like, I don't know.
Alex, I'm going to take a guess on this one. And say B. No, A, it's A. No, B, it's B. It's B.
Fucking Mike, man.
B.
Say B.
B.
Yes, Mike, you
Say B.
$200. And about time.
I'd like to go double on nothing.
Not a chance. You finished. Goodbye. Yeah, I just want you to go. Take the money.
I feel lucky.
I'm saying no. Go away. Forget it. Take your damn money and go. And that's all for Who Wants to Be a Canadian Millionaire Forever. I'm out of here.
That's all for Who Wants to Be a Canadian Millionaire Forever. Oh. That's too funny. Nunavut. What? That reminds me of a joke. What Canadian territory was returned to the Canadian to the native Canadian population? Nunavut. Ha. That's too funny. That's too funny. I like that joke. A lot, actually. Yeah, I actually really like that joke. Oh, did he finally fall asleep? I wonder. I can't tell. I don't hear any coughing. I don't know if he's asleep or not. Anyway, I have one more video for us to do. I'd like to show you guys this video because it's very important. And I'm actually going to record this for the YouTube channel as a separate video. So give me a second while I hit the record button, and we'll do kind of what Charlie and Asmongold do. Oh no, he's still awake. No, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to end this. I'm going to record that video separately. I'm gonna go put the little guy to bed, and then I will be back for some gaming. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be back in a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And consider jumping over to the Streamlabs link. If I get donations offline, I will do jumping jacks and upload them as a short. So thank you for watching. And I will be back in a little bit for some gaming. So thank you very much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving to you all as a Canadian. And I will see you guys later. Bye bye.